I'm super excited about this ginger chips. Ain't it a whoopee, ginger chips at me power chow. Say, enye mape ginger chips, dear. And then I worry. And it is something say, you were in powdered form like this. Ain't it say, we will be pick green tea to send me a near me green tea and I may be a gum. Na se me pese me munch on something so any me saka no na marry. Would you wouldn't share no? Google about ginger and you see the health benefit of ginger. But need just some say the organic honey and I can and I yet mape ginger chips myself. So America, it comes in a pouch like this. Into more American yina mubitimi afre
862-215-2007.
Good. Ofra you be deliver ye dia more kama. So wo Ghana so a be patch ofre
0277-609-644.
Mape ginger chips dear OBA here.
Deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic. Deoxynucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid. You've heard a word sounding big, huge. What word am I trying to force my tongue to mention? Deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxy, DEOXYRIBON, nucleic. Deoxyribonucleic acid. In short, DNA. Ladies and gentlemen, the effect of DNA as parts of the emotional trauma that a mother may go through. There's a conversation that has been provoked by a member of parliament, our own, our best friend, our man making headways. When you're busy, when you're busy, when you're busy, when you're busy. When you're busy is no other person but Honorable Asari Obeng A+. Well, he's presented a private member bill to Parliament on the fact that the deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA, should be given a very important highlight, specifically running a test at birth. All right, so sorry, I was muted. Paternity fraud and its effects on families. So DNA tests on mothers. I need your thoughts. I don't know what happened to us, but this restriction keeps coming. Well, there's a long message from Nikwe. I hope this is not a Nikwe RNQ. He said it's right cause some of us, our parent doesn't know our blood type till something happened before. So it is necessary to do all that. This is coming from Nikwe at Beth. This show is proudly sponsored by Afromax Plus. If you are a man and you don't know the state of your prostate, you are doing a harm to yourself. And as long as you do a harm to yourself, you become a victim in disguise. I want to ask that you join yourself to a place where you will have the test done so that you know your PSA, which is called the prostate specific antigen. Prostate specific antigen. Prostate specific antigen. For short, PSA. Today I'm doing a lot of medical terms. And as a result of the medical terms, I am becoming a medical and a clinical person at the same time. Most of us as men don't have an idea about the importance of our prostate. Your prostate is very, very, very important. So what is prostate, or what is the prostate in a man? So in short, the prostate happens to be one of the walnut size, or one of the tubes that lies under the reproductive organ or it lies under the male reproductive organ. It happens to be a tube or a line that we both generate inside. I don't know what is happening to this thing. I don't know what has blocked us again. This thing has started. This TikTok people, I don't know. Facebook, we are good to go. But all of a sudden, Facebook has started with this. They are trouble of blocking. I don't know. What do you call it? TikTok, sorry. TikTok. Yesterday we had a show, and then whilst we're not able to move up because they have come to put a restriction, and we don't know where the restriction is coming from. We've done everything we are supposed to do. Whatever we are supposed to do, we've done it. So I don't know. So don't worry if you see him fall, because my number is not 4. I'm not seeing anything that I've done that I should deserve to be going through. You say gifting suspended life. You say your gifting suspended life, restricted minutes due to repeated or prolonged action that lacks sustained engagement, such as remaining off screen or non-interaction. I mean, I don't understand. Hey, sorry, you can even hear flashing. Hey. The noise, the sound is too. This restriction is up to 1 p.m. Not 1 p.m. this side. I mean, Charlie, it's a serious restriction. We've not done anything. I'm doing recordings, and once I'm doing recordings from back, you are calling it. All right, so I was talking about what is your prostate. Your prostate is one of the tubes or lungs or veins that lies under the reproductive organ, the reproductive organ of the male. The tube by which we ejaculate through. That is what we call the prostate glands. So this prostate glands is where the primary function of the prostate glands is where you produce fluid that nourishes your sperm and forms parts of your semen. So every man has a prostate. No woman has a prostate. So if a man has a prostate, then I'm saying that you need to know the PSA of your prostate as a man. And usually the normal prostate antigen, specific antigen, the PSA level is generally considered to be below 4.0. So if your prostate specific antigen measurement goes beyond 4, then you are heading towards the cancerous stage of it. So if you go and check the range, the 4.0 through a typical range are lower for younger men, and 2.5 under age 60. Elevated level often indicates that you are in trouble one way or the other. So if you watch me this afternoon or watching me 10 o'clock this morning in America, or you're watching me 3 o'clock in the UK or wherever you are, I want to encourage all of you to make sure that as a man, you should go and do your PSA, what is called the prostate specific antigen. Know your state, know what you are carrying, know what you are running with, so that at the end of the day, you will not be a victim of a circumstance that is not palatable. I watched a video of KSM, whose state of prostate became close to cancer. And in his video, he said he was doing all the exercise and all the things that they said you can be doing so you don't become a victim of prostate cancer. But he became. The day he checked, he was above 4.0. And it was too late. Standing by, waiting. So it's not a bad thing to know the state of your prostate specific antigen. But it is a good thing to know so that you will not become a victim last minute. So, like I told you earlier, my coming to you today is to have a very good conversation on a conversation that's the private members bill that is being sent to Parliament by Honorable Asari Obeng, A+. We're going to have that discussion on Kesben with other panel members. Dr. Ajiman, who is an expert on DNA, is there, and I know there are other companies that are there waiting for. It's called The Digest. That's the name of the program. And I happen to be one of the panel members. So they will join me, or I will be connected very soon. But until we start the main one, sorry for those of you on TikTok that our numbers are going down because we have been blocked. So on prostate, I've been discussing prostate, and those of you who know I like dressing, that I represent a brand. The name of my brand is Bodyline Clothing in everything I do. Fortunately for me, I have to start dressing like this with the Bodyline trousers and beautiful beneath underwear. The reason is because I am pushing an agenda that all men will have the heart and the courage to go and check the state of their prostate. It's not about Afromax Plus, but it is about you checking the state of your prostate. Because as a man, if you know your state, then you know what to do. A lot of people have gone to do the test and they are told that they are okay. They are on the normal range. Now, watch it here. Let me state the ranges of our prostates as we grow. So, if you happen to find yourself at age 40, from age 40 to 49, your prostate specific antigen, which is PSA, should read 2.5 ng/ml. If you find yourself at 50 years and above, your prostate correct antigen must be 3.5. And if you find yourself at age 60, your prostate antigen level should be 4.9. Now, these ones.
Hello.
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 Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well,
good afternoon.
I am understanding what you are putting across to your audience. As in, when you want to see that you have the prostate, you have to go and test, and then the figures you are given. Well, it is good. But what I want to put up, what I want to ask is, in this country, unless the thing start manifesting itself on the person doesn't mind. So, please, can you give us the symptoms? Maybe the symptoms you start realizing before you take action, regardless of what you are saying, that it is good for us as males from a certain age to a certain age to go to the hospital or the health center to go and check. But then upon my assessment, some of us are not like that unless it hits the bottom rock before we start finding answers to those things you are saying. Please, can you give us one or two symptoms which will exhibit itself when you have an prostate?
Well, thank you very much. The first thing is that I will encourage you not to have the symptoms at all. Because in health technology, the anatomy of your body will only exhibit signs and symptoms of anything you are fighting only when your body's immune system has been exhausted in fighting that particular attack. So if you are looking for symptoms, then the symptoms are appearing because your immune system are tired or are fed up in fighting, as it were, in fighting the antigens. So the common one is frequent urination, but frequent urination comes because somebody too is having signs of diabetes. Because if you check carefully, your prostate, your liver contributes to your diabetes status, and your prostate also is connected to your pancreas. The wiring is such a way that there should be an exit when there's a fight happening. For example, fever is not sickness. When you hear fever, somebody has fever, it's not sickness, it's just temperature. Every normal human being has 36 to 37 degrees Celsius. That is what God gave to all of us. So we are very hot as human beings. So immediately your body begins to have any bacterial challenge or is fighting any condition, then the first thing that happens is you begin to feel the heat. Then you have fever. So don't wait for signs. Frequent urination, you cannot hold urine anymore. Those are the basic ones that we will see. However, whilst you are waiting for the basic ones, One of the things I would like to encourage you with is that don't waste your energy waiting to find out whether you have it or you don't have it. But rather, work on you, that whether you have it or not, you'll be able to prevent it. Prevention is better than cure. So my brother, frequent urination, it will give you a sign that your prostate has been tampered with. That one is a basic one. But the only thing I'll tell you is to go and have your prostate antigen tested.
As discerning as you are, and then you do this. I mean, just think about.
All right, so let me just give you a minute. Who are not. Hello, like I said, Honorable A+ is here. We are starting the conversation. Let's finish, and then we'll come back to
sponsor. I also heard about
the DNA conversation. So can we please meet ourselves and listen to, and we'll come back to this particular PSA. Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
The compulsory maternity test. But yeah, they criminalize it. So we need obi one worry when a bear matia worry ase. Now ebi a would count when maybe any Ghana I say so worry now on the bear matia worry ase and put count and maybe any baby casa. Yeah, but say what we need say when a member mienu and I have an affair at a certain particular time. So I was so we sure Nipa when a nanyama or the banner command. To me, say one worry now to warriors now last war boyfriends now only more a yakita one dear and as a one more deep gra. So when your ma and from a few by four say dear. This is a wookuna say open. And as a wookuna dear no what yes, yes, oh dear, or who grammar. But pass a wookunim say or no now or no wow. I wouldn't say you on one. And now say when a member be 3 and a half 4 and be in the Ghana just also by being an employer Davi. But so when your man won't to me Frank or share will be by force. I was say you to me who's a grand the papini. But I make a rojas here.
Yeah, let's say parable. All right, now honorable yes, I was here. How do I determine say the post messing up? They said what the car can say and maybe about on this country say Obefa and Panabaco. Okay, if I say me proud of you. When you say how do I determine say or smashing a man in your man I say being a man in your man I say in a minute. How do I determine that?
Patron line here we can grab my question.
Another person will be say Patron to make
I'm a talk about.
Another person will be said okay say. And you rightly said that American new Ghana has as I say, Ufam Knaba, you saw your bar, so your bema. There's a for example, we say, maybe your bar, I'm in plan of
yes.
That's my fire. How do I determine, say, we say, Akorabi, and enough for Poziga, the answer, honorable Asaro Obey, respectfully, honorable Asaro Obedia.
It's also one because I will test as Saudi Arabia. Because who now would you ban out the woman? Wouldn't him say, wouldn't Mama and Mamma me answer? And I died at the same time.
I gave you the number the last time.
Remember the woman more. Send a girl and answer the year or came from. But you don't open your back. But wouldn't him say, wouldn't Mamma me?
But when you want me, don't call me on this line. Always use the other line, please. Thank you.
Technology, I put in. It's one casano and says they say, okay, what if Oko and Obrano or Bano Hospital or mistakenly as a son? It's one case also weird test to know who say a brother would and I say Yodia.
I see. So what person you're criminalizing is say some person will criminalizing. So means that say be a memau me woyano or ban woyano what they are question them for me. A piano will nim say, the piano will say, because Tamani is studying a taxes as we said, we go all Kawaria. If you can't know the show that I are forced to the Naka question, and he said, I shoot. If you all can so on. A passano said the Parasia bed, then will you consider an ancestor and no,
Abi on say ade no na ye kan nyina ye obi a wahyeda ayesa ade no enye obi a onimo o obi a wahyeda obi a wahyeda awo ben fa tani pa no kwa ware no onim se onyam won e no de akwa aware e no kra no eye we kakaba wo de eye hwe but obi a ware oni be mate ye fa say wo du odatelam te asam ye bai 20 years Because I hear singing and no name member for then yes, yeah, Babu Panya de Diano, yes, sending you the pop
I see.
Let's just win what said that's what so do money.
I see.
And at the same time, no, sir, what the people will share Ubia a idea of see a funny serious on it as yet. Because some way maka Ziga, Bia, we made the example keke. Bia, okay. Some of the example the mammy family have a example. Bia na me papa ni otumfo.
Aha.
Bia me papa ni otumfo.
Obede no.
But yamfa me maame amfa me ankoma otumfo. Enka papa this time nka me rare me youth what just here. We probably start me move like me otumfo ba. Now because maybe as I can otumfo.
So Honorable A+ is the one speaking. He sent the bill to Parliament. So for the rest of you who are watching us on Facebook, our discussion is criminalizing paternity fraud when discovered by men.
Yes, yes.
And that's right. Yeah, for one man, because that time, nothing no OC or Tonka sets, no much. You know, come on, Papa. It's a go to a few weeks ago, 10, 20. To hope upon the despite. Dear. Now, Papa can so we are saying, Papa, we are saying, or you're diabetic. It's a say, who come hospital, other doctor, himself say, but your diabetes will push him one. I'll say, Darby. If he said, Papa, now you do for share, no, or no need diabetes. It's you know, idea also you catch or say, yeah, we may you catch because who need diabetes will push him. Over the 50 years near crown 9. Because original father no young catcher or diabetes. It's you know, I will say Opia even the family tree. Also be the family a medical history. Obabia, Obewubia. So Oba Sebema, Ewa Wariasi, before your argument, as a Bema so, Omo Wariasia, no one could come, send me could come and one of me Oba or what, meet me find Shame Yeri, and I'm a one. Yeah. Blue people want to be that was Shame Yeri. Semenege being Anyam, Amana Wonabano, oh, that's what to be that.
And a cry, yeah.
Oh, I know who you're son in the battle with you.
Yeah.
But Obano tia whereas no or would you wouldn't swim in the sorry, wouldn't say would ya. Meaning Papa Bia with 70 years. I will say, Bohaya, never fuck and a muff 4, but Ukraine the day. 70 we have in all bell.
And I like that point. Yeah.
Yes, it's you know, say one Obiatna. Papa na bobra ednisika twankora go school approachire ni ade nyina na odi 7 yesi enkora no ba kokura yan ne dia dabi there was some running new wuti.
I see. So in this case I remember 2009 and a first DNA machine ever Ghana first man the samples at the South Africa near there, and 2010 was the first time that I DNA test Emma Ura Benefsin Tamana DNA machine in 10 months. We went there to check how the DNA machine was faring at that time. okay, no, or publish say about 90% of test na ya no hono was a negative. 90%, 10% dependent positive. Okay, so in this case, no, more best setting or maybe a DNA test, no matter report the through so that mobile analysis say how it's a rather bad, how do you do it? Because a BS was Sablugu, a BS was him. How will you know it?
They say DNA machine ayana. Was 1990s as well kind. I know not check to say DNA machines and a big DNA ayana baby. Say yanye DNA at bed grana. Say inya be say disputes inya ba or say to be DNA. Once there is dispute, I will say to be DNA. We must be able to and if you have DNA no ayana. But also a do maybe a for brand and DNA ben for them. Also for school fees bra, for scabra. Now we show biba. Won't me young she Darby. I was married to me forcing the panel about the DNA. Also, me know now, me Jindy. It has a Uber show ban as a word and never ban the end. I mean, I am very, very important. It's you know, the DNA will be able to me in the piano. Once there is dispute, I will say to me DNA. And I hear DNA now, circumstance now, and the bet share what
the criminality, the criminal element of the criminality.
Especially how I ever handle as someone.
Yeah.
Circumstances now, it lead to Sadiano. A case piano, and yet the same. Obi. They got one of the Yet the warrior, yet the means I show warring for by force. What's a you know, what could you be a sales of warring?
Yeah, and a prayer.
That's a word. It's in a warren I'll call it because when you be a day, Aquanium, yes, warren. The Bano crown, later say Bano crown, that is a very serious thing.
So when a parliament person we see Saturday and another quite. So
by next week, you know, yeah, bill no, a parliament. Okay. Yeah, per se, yeah, whether pass you, pass you, and we said that issue no, but yeah, per se, the parliament. Me who say, yeah, they Saturday week, parliament. Yes, that year we send him a message. Some for was show for year, or before the Bible, yes, say,
yeah.
Yes.
So members of parliament, what you say?
Yeah, also Kakra, and I didn't find that there are a lot of them who are also joining, even my parliamentarians. They are excited about this because
I wanted to ask. Say a marker one as a manka.
Yes, your parliamentarian. Obey can say the inside is shedding me and a brand in and a brand, just a day we want you and a crabby bear. You know, even the women are happy about this. Well, Obi say, what a friend is saying, Obi say, in a panel, or you sure say, or no, yes, if you can, but yes, somebody, and I'm saying, and no, say, man, I can support you. Say, I need to miss somebody hospital. And the man that was a calling for, we said, we'll be a baby, and I'm a woman. You know, we are not in any way trying to criminalize adultery. That be opia how person where your mind piano, and yet I know your moral issues. And only when Yanko Ponte Mwasem, and then Yanko Pon Grano, will be such as a new church of a catcher. Yanko Pon Adam for PDBS on your mind. Over David, over Solomon. Now Solomon and Casabrano, the whole world. Yami bo ni pewi or no pet play a sign be an agreement. Then an agreement a pro, Yami and the Pro Max, or the agreement become, or the whole world is also not with your my pa. What does it? It's in the Nipa and the way my way. Then, yeah, let us say, yeah, grab your ways. It's you
you are a member of parliament. A lot of people.
That means say the young are not to Solomon, let us say, yeah, that's your it's a Solomon cry. It's in the end, and your betray. Sir, Obi, and Kobe, Gamai, will be incorporated, and that is neither here nor there. But when you want to fraudulently, when you want to obey a scam, when you know for certain, say you are having affairs with multiple men, you should be sure before. And yes, I know the law can deal with you.
Honorable, thank you very much.
All right,
Honorable Kwame Asarope is a member of parliament and Magumwa Central. I should Ghana mandate paternity testing for newborns and okay, on the line I have a councillor George Lutrot, is a renowned councillor in West Africa. Also, Councillor Dofoli is a councillor and alternative dispute CEO Marriage Consort Limited. Mr. Seth Ajimari is a Yamachi Biotic Cancer Research Center, and the lawyer Adudako and Dr. Ivan Spare, Wahi has also joined us. Okay, but before let me go to Mr. Seth Ajimari Yamachi Biotic. You're taking a scientific point of view. So say when you are listening to Honorable Asarope, no, can be let me ask a question. We say the panel say would be saying there are multiple boyfriends. They say would be saying now would be a shenwa. I was saying as I said, a little say we test and sana. But say akora de yefuma. Could it be possible for that test to be done?
That's a semenya penyawi because honorable Pachamichao is the Oma Okumu airport by the Bishop. DNA testing it was a DNA maybe I made the DNA to say the Kwame Despite cassettes and not all. What's an aroma? Some money ruling take the bar now putting your my boss. It will be our one it will far a match the Denuma, Denum never for that didn't banima, that didn't ban. Sana will be at the now, say, Obani Bema Ishia, a Obano, a DNA no, a half, and now Bema is with DNA half. Now, me no, and I send a chromosome, 23% not better together. Now, you need Papa. And I'm say pregnancy and assets of now. Gametes na be zygotes na embryo no nyini no yebetima ye DNA test abra ye ngo surgeon ko betima fa nsuo bi afiri oba ni mu ana say ye be ko ibi na wodie ni no mafa nsuo bi be dey test nti say ye wo no si ye ngo no betima ye sa test be mu mpa ye ngo no eya na ye critical ti say bia Dr. Fawzi say risk to be over, and also we investigate to say,
Doc, please say that minimum share television. So, TV, can you lower the volume of the TV? Say it's giving us some feedback.
TV, anyhow. Maybe I'm to my headset. It's the mention say, I prefer no war, my many young man, you beat me, you beat my and on the Yana, and I'm saying, yeah, and I say, Dr. Fawzi said, and from Subi, a bit map, and I said, my many life, any aquarium life, they are at risk, so we need to investigate something. And yes, DNA tester, I will furnish a dear, I am my debate, give it to me. I say, Obanani, Bemeshia, no fifth. Now you confirm, say, a insane here. Lab, you bit my first sample near a testimony, may a my main can be being just to say, honorable say, Obi or how near 10 years will be by no diasheno. Science Munyanano, a bit means what I say, be bit my up to Chim. Any bearman ever. Nay, so nay a bearman ever. A DNA assembly can be a chance at 100%, they are about 99.97%. It's and any na a better say, a be added now by any now one can. Or baby, no credit, a baby, a being a credit papa. Name sec by ye, Mamma, or Mugro back, and Mamma Mida may, sir. So why yet test now? a bad day so bad bit to me, I can say a papa way by and I say the papa way by. Into which is convenience and support. I will furnish a young dear, a bit my fat or woman swap. And only easier. So I will find out your woman dear, a bit my fat when I'm be meeting me, the Numentetsu, the Nimoja, and when you're a baby. If it's me for a career, I'm not sure. It's my DNA. I'm a
minimum. For example, we say, I may be person be a DNA tester. Be my target now, machine. Move to me at Tatiano at your quality. And no, I did the element when the woman bit me a massacre.
So, one of my quabit, it has so seen you, and I say, was skin no, say face no was so. And I say, in free, a bit my womb. Say, you one cell beer walk at the month, so put up penny. So when sun is so, when shake glass, into Ubeja, when sack a ground, I have anything that printed. Leaning a bit media, the identity of the person or on such order about the movie now. Book of her drink a crown no man, you beat my fat, and son are so, yet to me, I connected to a database. Near the DNA test. Yes, also a lot of persons. I didn't want to go forward.
Yeah, but the 7 months after the see at way, you see at way, and I have the punish said, yeah, what would you go?
DNA, no, fine, he to beat me as say, no, Obekaya, tackle the girls in the case in the sea, no, so be from Boons, no, Sabia Jana, and we are a bit me. A degree, and that's a bit more upgraded DNA. And so, and the technology about we can still stick it together and still find a good DNA to do identification. And the DNA say, "Brand a bit me, I am baby." Yes.
All right. I said, just mommy, don't go yet because we need to finish this now. For and just here. This is very, very crucial and very, very important. Let me go to Dr. Evans Fair, Dubai Horn, a director of MME Labs. And so Dr. Dr. Suso Akacheno. But we saw before I remember myself, the person saw say DNA test now. Dr. Evans, said Dr. Evans Fair. For example, say be a DNA test, maybe na me baby. It doesn't mean say by force say some papa, and sana a DNA test net be proof say a positive. For example, say be it's yeah DNA test no me some papa, but you prove you know you acquire test no a positive, a possible sir. Yeah, Doc, unmute yourself for me, please.
Okay, but I say, oh, I'm going now with your mommy. And I answer me call questions. Me person me de kakaka, yeah, the senior man, Dr. Jaman said, I can. It is a say, that pregnant to my opinion, my end. Even say advanced technology, no, I'm a young say, even Obano Mojana Casan Obano Yama. That's what debate 12 is a part. The check Obano Mojaka Caprana, it's mere analysis. Am I young say, the who are planning DNA and compare Papano dear. Am I young say, a prana young one, no, the Papano Bana said in Yaneba. Indeed, and no, Anna. For question I will say, as a prana cell, we bet master papa be as obey DNA no, then Yaneba. Indeed, that cell was no one send no. The only way I bet my castle will be you be ever a Pusia and answer will be a year after the papa, after we the papa will be it's a DNA no, and Sunday, it's my I'm making that conclusion. They are DNA no. That's yes, yes, physical. Futures that they identify say I can say Accra will live papa Nidia any dear no dear. They say DNA element in Yamaya who said Accra will live papa Nia and I said any papa. But I may add it to but I read it from somewhere say a DNA test no yeah and yes the panel as a so was because there was a time be naive.
but me muna we experts and I mean say where I read this from and I mean say sebe almost say bet me abase me ne cancel root and me papa ne cancel root but e bi anase me nua me ne se pa no chese bi e bi nua no obi bet mi wa kohwe obi wa aburiche na one ne se pa no chese ni nua no especially se bi a obi na fi one father kwa no bet bi abase enye obu nyu mu nua no e de bet mi abase omo nsem so enye omu nua no na me pese obi say in the DNA test na happen that but she case be that say the panel won't say but when you test no and the press the papa no a bit misses
a bit misses and I make say DNA no and no dear ye DNA and ye be who say obi no obi bo na ndi say we ya miafo na musa and kire say mo senuti na mo papa pro until say ye be ye DNA na DNA no parent no be show say ampa we papa ni we enye papa na say omonye abusuanti ese no de physical features and I know yampa emma ye hu say obi ni obi bo abusuan na say obi ni obi emmo abusuan ti so person hu say obi ni obi ebo abusuan na say obi papa ni enye ne papa ni a the we na anakwan ya obeti ma kwan ne say one pay DNA test no na DNA na say ampa o papa ni enye o papa ni ti yampa physical features and kire say obi ni obi eye abusuan na say ne papa ni.
I see. So doc, you how many times that you do DNA test? How many times?
So what take the average and answer in for any other DNA pa the obi a person oye the averagely in a day yenya kra ye ba ko de yenya ti say for ebe DNA average once one person a day yenya DNA test for person who said be in the bar na say obi ye nyabusuani nti DNA test na enye papa de no kwa na ye ebi o ha your friend maternity testing nti your paternity DNA testing your maternity DNA testing ma me bisu o ha o pese omu se akra na wa wo no e ne ba because say na ye kan obi o ha omutini so apeni nti ma me no we a odi be hu ni se ono so be test na omu se oh we ye ne ba nti the country obi say woji omu di say woni papa we na wo na obeye DNA na efiba wa e say wutimi ba say bejimi hu di manye me ne be ma obia anya ntam ti me be ya na sa akra no anya me ba na obi say asem na America e no kre di anya papa no kwa le timi ye DNA ma me no so betimi abeye DNA asan ni so wojini hu di say woni be ma obia anya.
I see. All right, I'll come back and ask you a question because statistics be abano. One Dr. Ajiman will answer that for me. Now, Moshe, be person will prepare. You say number of times and conform a test or be a test your results if you can compile it so that we can have your friend say answer to that. Let me go to a counselor George Luchot is a renowned a counselor in West Africa. Say thank you very much. Now say you say sadly we say a bar pass away a bema o aware ase na when we say akra we say wabusuam ni na no maso nya tene ba akra we na so aden dodo wabusuam maso aden akra we na so nya aden dodo o pese o koye DNA test but o no yire so so chididi e na bia o pese problem be ba da o no yire ne ntem no how do you say it e kwa be na be fa so abetimi aka no afa
Zigamedasi, Minchia Honorable A+.
Hello, Counselor.
Otemenka.
Hello, Counselor. Are you with me?
I'm with you, Pa. Otemenka Kwadia. Yes. Yes.
Hello, Counselor.
Hello, pick me.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay.
I hope so you heard my question.
I heard your question very well. But let me acknowledge our honorable member of parliament. And let me also say congratulations to him. I read on the net that he's got an A+ radio station at Gumwa Central. When you're busy, Congratulations, Honorable A+. And we will forever support you because you are doing a good work. And
Fantastic.
we are excited, regardless of your busy schedule. You are still with the boys. And we are happy with that because some of your people, per their pedigree, they are too busy for the boys. So thank you. And the conversation now, Honorable A+ are starting. Last year, October, me too quite on. Because started program be a friend, the effect of paternity fraud on the family. Now, I'm say Dr. Jimandia, Miami Nipa, Yesha Siache, the same hospital, Mititi Nipa. Meba me chirani de see it was in my paternity fraud class, and it was discovered, say, twins be a yawo. Esunubiane ne papa.
Wow. How could that be possible?
When your scientific error, where sexual deliberation and sexual excitement. And it was unfortunate, say, Papa na yamade tuya child support. Abrochire don't say, you didn't call birth certificate, so but tuya child support.
Yeah.
Wa maya anye DNA. Ba kwala no enyi yedu baabi no. Eno no say akwala ni behavior no. E baffle ni mind. Enti opeso e DNA. Ba ko sene pa. Enti osi anu di ojitu mu say eniba. But the end I didn't say on sen. They are twins. Wow. Or see the end sen and yaniba. So the case went to the court, your paternity court, and your court judge, you know. Wouldn't say a choir DNA. They are different fathers. Bakupo and your papa.
What?
That's serious. Now, as na mama ni bekasa say date na oni papa where wawale no tino omo die no ofi ni ho no okọ ne cousin baako bi ho ena ne cousin no ene ne die ofi ni ho eba back no nso no ohia another guy bi a mo so nom kakra no nso die. So papa na what your child support na wagye to mu say ne ba ne po ye ba ko pen mienu ni nyina anya ne dia ena nkwala mienu ni nyina nso e papa anya ba ko because by science no usually no during ovulation splitted egg ne bit me drop it two ni nyina drop it at the same time e bit me drop it na second one abeto aso. So scientific research on their case and they said there was a delay in the dropping of the splitted egg. Eti the only need die na any kunu nkola ni nyane dia. The only need die later mienu no. Omo na ye nkola de papa. So if you look at the fraud side, this man has been taking care of these twins. Tabody case in a bar up, no? Siga na enkwala at the 16 and 17 our bread. Here we are. Enkwala ni mienu nyina po no ka se baako sen ne dia. Ebia anya ne dia. The age at that time, 59. The story is there. I'll send you the link to watch the story. Oma in the open by legal rights. Enti debiano, the Honorable A+ Edebano. He will make a lot of sense when the test is done at birth. or right after delivery. However, that sample now you're taking from the child, no? Are we taking it in the presence of the father or in the presence of the mother alone? Because in common we did 3 different folds per my understanding. At birth, or even before birth, pregnancy, when there's a controversy, after birth, or when there is a confusion or conflict. So these 3 stages, each of them have its own effect on either the father or the mother. Ziga, there are men who have gone behind the scene to go and do a DNA test, and they realize that the children are theirs. They come back for counseling. It doesn't make sense. Say wakoshe say akolani e ziga eneba one ne yire tiwo wan kahwe and wafa kokoemu have gone to do the test to see if Ziga is my child. Okoye the doubt has been cleared, but he's confused because the cognitive template has been divided before the test was done by a level of dishonest or cheating or something on the woman. Same here. Immediately you do a test after delivery, the woman that the sample was taken can go into PPD, postpartum depression, as a result of tests na yaye no. Into this conversation, kwan ben so na alpha aka kire who oyere anabisa oyere say miziga me pese me ye test.
I see.
Say akolade ye media na no. It's a very slippery conversation because no woman will own up easily for you to do it. Zigati, emba bebre de nyinse abrem be mebi. Na no krede say dog can sembi.
No.
Or see, some of them come by convenience. And some of them come by support. The convenience is Ziga A plus honorable can send me na the all can one tirase. Girl be a won't worry no one neda.
Yeah.
Na enya won kwa na neda. Ena onye from so say one woni agemai. Any A plus eda because on wali. So she's not cheating. She's exploring. But because you're having sex with her unprotected, on you no catch yourself washing you can't doubt it.
And I get it, yeah.
And unknown so because of our poor sex education, if you get that 10 girls today, they don't know what's ovulation. You have only 2 who know the wrong one and not the right one.
I see.
So oni Zigada, oni George Richard, oni Ajemayada. But Ajima person why no? Until you say last time when any die cry said Ophelia and say Ajemayba. So they bring their children to us. Usually the firstborns, not because they deliberately did it. But they thought, say, also in nada, enti or the mawa and yaboni. That is why most firstborns have this challenge. So, question say, quite men soon ye first wa catch me yere say, and now catch up on ma me say, ye ko test no. A slippery conversation. But my catch or be maybe I say, uakukudrua. Seek for counseling and then go and do the test. And when you have the results, come back for counseling so you know how to say it. Because it's dangerous.
All right.
for you to know, say, unfortunately, no, oba when you are traveling, it's more traumatized than postpartum depression of a woman whose sample has been taken at a delivery.
Yeah.
Because Bema, ya say you, Bema and Su, Bema they see so much no harm, and from so their Bema. So every time we have been, confined and compressed not to express. When you express, they say you are weak. Me no can say.
George, you so why science kakaba. So another question, so they say, yeah, kase oba the new Bema or then it is not true. And is it true?
It's not entirely true. Because in their mind, until you prove to them, because in the paternity class now me one, a man to make us a ziga and me. But the DNA says no. Najad Nebisan said, do you know of any other man again? No, Bobby Fufrodin. Nia kofa, what's a broche there easy? Nia kofa sa be manaba. Eti emani biankasa enye too straight because amu wi obi a obeshia. And there's nothing wrong say oh you obi a America. It's your choice. Send A+ kind honorable kind. Okay. What does it? But me for when so last one is said there are errors. Hospital. Yet Mrs. San Koleni be a deliberate. Because me more practical example. Ebia Dr. Jimandi Obetimasi. Ya won kwala na ya ni omugu baby court. Na baby court is supposed to be one baby, one court. But in the part of our world, in baby amakoye jumadano. Yeah, 3 babies, 1 court. Near the pin card, na shisha one chain. By then, most times, na ye name tag, but pin card nature. And I'm calling you now, you want amukala yepe. And tiani amuko word wa near teacher mom. There could be a lot of gender issue because during delivery, or baby awa, the only way you know, say akolana awo or ye ziga. Anna or your patient will open the reproductive organ and show the child to you. So your identification is by gender. Utiye ye na unya bibia odi two tima because there was a case babia ma many beka kire and say yasesa ne ba no tamo da word no na ogosan kura ne diaper no ohun say etwa bi e da ne sere ho ohun say da ne ba no ho ba ye de ne ba ye no eni ne ho quickly a challenge here go find about brain. So imagine, say Mami we, she left the hospital with that child, and then but it was one of the 2% medical error. So there's a medical error that really also must be addressed.
Very deep. And so George Jasmine, I mean, Councillor Adofori said, thank you very much. Say, when your time, Eddie Amai. Now, she said, George Ekai. Say, Mako Hospital, Mako, Meko, say, as a son who is as a son who be him. Now, me banny be a 10-second born. Me shannon ne yanwa, Akrano, and no more, Mentiase. Basse na me suspect say piana baba one family. Me suspect say be a mere woni mi so na me castino. Me so me person me busa no ara na akọ create instability aba beto abusuanu. E basa no a how do menya day say menya day.
And I say it here yet you put in any of them. Any panelist. Just as Councillor Little Kyle counseling here, most of the times when we hear we be over, why would we are acting on it? When we ban, I mean, Yamiba. We started so that to partner, no, where you know, we started so quite a stress here, when you've been in a manner and we've been in the book. Those doubts, and you find a creative issue psychologically. A relationship in Ukraine, I was my creative issue. Let tension with you, I get a Caribbean enterprise. Many of these doubts now, you can't like us. When an air crossing, what we do, On counseling, every bit my basi, every couple, this is not about accusation. Accuse you, woman is saying what for community. But to just clear certain things, every grana, here can hospital, here from Swallow, and that from so I knew after the year, finding out. So just for the clarity, I'm seeing the ban, but more or less, you couples be over. I'm funny because I call them and yet I would geocraning to be any background. So I could not try each other. So you bet me out of to know if it's my Shakarano. As far as there's no contention, be an so be back so only about 3 months. So, okay, any time we have any of this suspicion, would be in common. And the best person will be a counselor. No, one Nientia was sent in a swan. We show him who said, Nientia person who will be some common. If you are within the council session, you clear those doubts. The last thing, or one may have at the back of the massive meet to engineer. Not all these years. When some will be found one. And that's also another issue for the relationship. Our area, there's no child between the husband and wife. And so our relationship survive over the time. If you can create me here, and now what you can there's a rumor, sir. We bet my TV, of course, I want it. And I said, why a cry when we said a SOB? Partner in the S, somebody could just take that up, not any news out there, another petty issue. Or if you want, we need to add this in a lot of work. And dear, assembly, Castle Parliamentary person, I am in full support. It's overdue. Other countries are serious for maybe to say Australia 10 years overdue. See, you can see us. I would call US different states have laws on that. And there was case I was involved, and I'm not disclosing people's name or narratives. But see, Papa didn't ban it agutri, or Papa DNA, and Parano, DNA from different countries shows Parane and Yanidia. And you're also so often the Chia. And so now they think that the whole thing is a spiritual issue. But then the person is tossed between science and spirit. But we have made a Parane corner. Yes, I could have in your media. Also, media. How do we do things like that? So, before the suspicions, people might see things wanting to there's any suspicion why you didn't come on. Counseling web well, other individual couple counseling, then clear those that I have no back in another way, and then resulted by a jet to be to because a doctor from a couple Mano, I can't any result be about. We were near sanity. Or be proud also result on the environment trusted result. But say, you know, I look crop near hospital, they go to all the formalities. So, if I pride, you say, if I any of the near my baby, we are the outcome. And again, last to add, counseling, so they've been discussing the outcome. So, Basina Korana and Yamuba, what do you do? A Bana Korana and Mubaba, what do you do? And then such support to me, say a company results after results from us and the right support. Then when you say Yakob Kakora gain after that, our really good because of that. I don't know for talk. I'm interested in that. See, American by say there was these statistics out that and those data should see I don't know whether those data are protected. And when you see we be better see data we are about I will be some now amount for alpha area one maybe no be going to say and that will be a kind of master that will also be hard for some people. So data protection I don't know the rules or laws on that.
For example, you say my name is a yaba your friend say you want to ya wo be se miensa ye ni na ye ni chi kama happy family assembly fie afei ni to do ho ana bibia me say me koye die ni ana say me ne me namfo no bi di komo ne ba wi se ba kwaso o me ba bi ye kwachake ne ba me ba no ba da fofo so aba ba me happy family psychologically no do I have to go for DNA abra assembly fie do I have to maintain your friend say the happiness there wo abusia no and now say me koye DNA na me free sometimes you have inner conflict, and you have to cancel the answer and become a semi quiet and answer.
Why not tears and you say because when you say there's anything shows we in a platform with you. Because I'm not used to say a man for a discuss, will be all crowd with the background any crap and back. Because I knew say KD, that people have those suspicion. Because there was a certain somebody who a castle when a man be married woman be dying. And I see people coming to the office to say, oh, we suspect me you will be that because of near materials and news now upon it. It is a bit messy. But don't act on your suspicion. Say because of that, me fab idea because sometimes about idea we are banner. Still, why you stay and to know? So that's why because I found the cancer for go for cancer as an individual person. See, without you know, swing a person gave DNA. I'm not doing the right. Just after those fear, a book care. There can be ways to help you to control those doubts. Obviously, beside the doubt, near my Chelsea and the suspicion, a bit my true. Then the best option is see very much clarity. We can't say, yeah, oh, mistrust me. But those fear need a trouble. Say, hey, learn where DNA, after the DNA, we don't have anything like that to suspect. So I'll still say, uncle individual counseling, and then from that result, after the counseling, it requires a spouse to be involved now. Counsel and my recommendation on his spouse to say, I could do that. Then they can do that as a united front. It's a simplified from because we the result in that beginning, the finding that one day see, oh, from a team and also another story for the future.
Yeah, so do you think that we need to criminalize this thing? He said, yeah, now Honorable Iblaseka. Now, Councillor Lutron said that it's good that make it mandatory, you know. As I see, criminalizes that.
I believe, say, you see, you need to know why, and you down, and you are committing this fraud. Say, Akwaran would deny Akwaran access to the father or whoever the father is. One, because Akwaran may need brand identity, when you say, to Papa Nancy. Despite any papa, we are going to deny those identity. Second, why is doing this? So a crime. Young criminalizer, a man for a da. See, women be so sad here by the we are usually twice. I think for us to say. The other aspect now, private school now, I'm working on that. I'm not going to support you. As you work towards that, I was even hoping, see, by this, I'm going to make report Parliament, passing a review in the account prepare. They address those issues before they are passing many better. So, criminalizing it is just to punish my time when it be so changing the paternity of the Unkorano, and the Caribbean and young dear. I was bet my protest some memo. So you see my war. Me on Yasa because I yes, and China.
Okay. All right. Said just mommy now the last partner now. Yet time the kakaka right is still Kesben TV, DSTV channel 364 and Good TV channel 121. Compulsory paternity bill the Echo Parliament. Should Ghana introduce mandatory paternity testing for all newborns? I have a couple of experts digesting this with me. So the next 20 minutes now let me engage Dr. Ajiman. So Doc, like I said, Osha Ura Benefsin in 2010, when the first DNA test was done in this country. Now, a machine in 10 months, when they went there, they realized that about 90% of tests are not now a negative. Now, today, TRT Africa for Research, I also report about 2025, about 46% of paternity tests that are and also a negative. That's a 2025 nationwide. And also, Dr. Dr. B also approved. I sorry to say, meant me I'm on the fast alpha. You also made us to understand, say, or also the firm, about 75%, that's a Dr. Cheme of LM Lab at Letebia Kwashi, has also made us to understand, say, 75% of paternity tester over year in 2025 in our soon improve negative. Now, Kache, what year a say test DPR? How many times test animal you need now? Negative, cause away the positive now as a positive no outweigh the negative side.
Madam say almost statistics some lumping together I have a lot of questions. My friend say we started 2010. I test in Nigeria baby. Unfortunately, we couldn't support the test again. I left it in our hands. Different reasons will be at test. It be immigration. It be so quite a social welfare. The child was found somewhere and almost suspected. It be disputes. They said they were making. It be the statistics. But I can say, usually, experience a million about 70%. No, or by the chance and no. Usually, the bear challenges say, now about the same about 70% Name say, bear man challenge the paternity. Now, so and refuse here. Most of the time, 90% are bear manager because a man who is in it's we knew how they did their statistics, but the statistics should be in different forms. Why did they go to the lab to do the test and all that? But the
according to TRT Africa, which is in the various labs, okay. Nana propose here. A paternity test, so almost share records and nobody take data.
Yeah, Matthias said that we bet my paternity test. Say, also a chest and yammy. And you can negative after positive, and negative depend on any anybody call lab. If I'm maybe I'm still intimacy or banning. Now, do I call one of the lab? We are very test, and I say, and your banning me a positive mommy. It's only a positive. It's a DNA test and positive and negative. DNA test me, dear, I make up. Are you excluded as the father or are you excluded as the mother? And yeah, that's just a bit much. They say more relationship. Either so, it's say a positive or say negative. Originally, in Tiami Koye, it's even said, Mammy Biao, Papa for me, near a testament, Papa back me about, and a Papa back me any pan. Dear Yanipan, if you are not eating and say, and Yami Pani, the Atomiso. And say, yeah, testament, some may say, will test me a positive, I say, yes, a positive because I need it back. Name me say me back. Now make a testament. Not any me back. And a bit negative. Cancel a bit much.
Doesn't work scientifically like that because scientifically no me canon a negative and positive. Say again a match and I say match. Oh okay.
DNA test you can a match and a match. To be fine, final statement you can say because of ABC profiles Ajimai said is excluded. Because me ye Ajimai film say onye papa and as ye film say now my last one I prayed on the court eco parliament also a lot of deliberations of Ghana system councillor can say Mrs. Here said data security DNA simple tests like few black counts and as a DFI, very bit data security is people's identity and we need to have a lot of infrastructure in place before we even think of making it compulsory. Maybe it's optional, people can go for it. But we have to actually look at it. Sickle cell testing should have been the most compulsory test. And then also Parliament says it's compulsory because Agrani with me
the equity problem. I will ask Dr. Yusufu the same question.
Yes, Dr.
10 seconds for me. The parents are women on me code of boy. Your time is over. Yes, or Barney Bema Eda or baby and the Bema, automatically you have the Bema DNA forever. Is it?
Baby. was a focus will be with DNA forever, and I said, in the next me, me, TND, not body in after. And if any says, and you be behind it is a day.
Thank you very much. And we thank you for today. So let me go to Dr. Evans. So, Doctor, what else can you tell us? You listen to Councillor Lutrot, you listen to Councillor Adofoli, you have listened to Dr. Agyemang. What can you now you as a scientist? And then about what you say, I do say, if you get opportunity to meet the parliamentarians or most sponsor that bill now, you will tell them to add up.
All right, so definitely when this conversation ends there, we'll continue on our platform with your own questions and answers. So don't be bored. I want to listen to their own and we'll come back to do our deliberation. Very, very important, because DNA criminalization for paternity fraud is very important. Thank you.
Most of the times, a man anymore about the data now. DNA paternity and yet common lab baby they ask the senior man, Dr. Agyemang Ekaya, infrastructure no sit any man to do that. Now, I buy one thing is a start for the best support to the testing now, because they say the basic test no cry, never one year. I buy 18 support to those things. It is before say a baby need structure no there. There's something now on the plus pay the baby back because they say so the back. I reading a bad test. And I need part of a year would be around. You bet me, I assign infrastructure asset that I modernize DNA testing center. I saw more consider Sana, Belno, the Bibaya, your baby pure one year. Now, go can data once. Data so data now, Dr. Agyemang say what is be a 75% and yet most of the times, no, immigration purpose. Immigration. Normally, no progress now, approach, no more harm. Most of the time, so you also on the way to my
so we have the discussion this year. Is in one line, we have the discussion this year. And the old any can't get them the member common table of men.
Say why ready opposite or warren
But
and the mafia
TikTok
DNA paternity no their percentage ever high papa normally ever higher because of that, because and then our real
and the next 1 minute end the mommy and your dog if I said me quiet DNA no the person who is here because Dr. Agyemang we ba ya what the coin and the the negative and the positive. And if I say me come the person because I call we see a me banner me coin approve positive that is a me banner. Now me twa na ma dress I me tanta na ma sa coin another one na approve positive. But me just here be me kwa brochi anase baby me coin approve negative. But over not negative no approval last one. Could that one be the original and I say the rightful results? And a bit me abasa.
For experience, it be end to Minyanya because Ogaba and so be very and me assure Nipan say DNA test no obi DNA enchendi obi DNA woni enchendi. It's the end me myself obey test wa ha. Na say the papa na aya yehwe ni ye aya what the chain of custody of sampling. Sample now will pick you from the right source because Obiba the department my diabolic.
Ola, what you are doing is coming inside there. Oh,
you are not making up for taking some Yeah, and then
all they're talking is currency. I didn't know.
confusion about the old man said, Akrana will take the sample. Akrana and what take the picture said. I'm taking the sample. It is a confusion, and I said, the BBC said, Obeka said, oh, Akrana, no, but not say the evidence back. You will picture actually say, Akrana, when I'm taking the sample. It's in the message.
The all time no copper patch 30 seconds on this and 15 seconds on this. The all can just say, be a me pen upon the activity, but to me, I sample, be different sample, be the represent Corano, na acquire said your main panel, na put me near side, and you be Sababa.
The making sure they say, yeah, my chance, and my own copper sample, yeah, and Ryan. They make me yes. If your brother could be peace of mind, I don't know, say, wow, but take his sample no back. I don't mean to me guarantee said, I'm run out the sample by a one. I don't know what to mean for if I'm going to port and I'm going to never be said, I'm running your back.
Okay.
Why now wait to media cast I'm running your banner and every figure. I don't know me what and I mean to take his sample. I wish I'm when I'm taking his sample. See, I don't know wait to media came out.
All right, don't you better say. I would have wished that out. The extended side we see power, but it's a time no dog patch of a pa. So Dr. Ivan Safe for is the director of MMLE lab. Okay, so time now Karma Michama George ne your friend said Councillor Adolfoli. So George in the next 4 minutes catch me. She say dear buy for example beer many akurati yet seen akurano. Me money ni na on na ye be doba pa be dono pa be dono on na me dono ye company na bata cheno was start active weird be na me suspect me be se me come DNA test be ko ba say prove negative ye na me pede se me he say me ba no na say me pa na prove ye na nya me ba no e ba sa no a afa ye ntimi ko guru ba bi ane papa wa say so apo no hospital o se na ma me de be share me ni ade me so na akra na ka be dono. In the counselor, tutorial, what will you tell me so that to love the child and continue?
Ziga Makase, before DNA counseling, during DNA counseling, after DNA counseling. These three things. I won't stop. It's like divorce. Me see, before divorce, counseling. During divorce, counseling. After divorce, counseling. Councillor Adolfoli make a statement here. It's been said and believed said. Obisio akwalapo enya ubampo no utu any fees. And she said, what is wrong in going through adoption to have it? Ziga? Adoption process for Ghana is very difficult. I thought it was easy. It's not. Number two, adoption doesn't make the child yours. So when counseling have not dealt, so there are times that when we find ourselves, it is not always said, just accept and continue. There are times that you accept and divorce. Look, the time is short, but I pray we have another extension with the same team. Because there are too many things we have to discuss. Because tell me, Obia luzu na adwuma wo Ghana ha. Ye nyina ye dede ni bi. Esansa baye bese wa hye ne nyense ato ne mona. Wa ko sebi ama we piaba. Nanse ye ko ye DNA. Akola ne nya ne ba. Wedi ne da makola ne nya ne ba. Sofo bi ye pamo no oman yi mu. Esansa baye bi se wanyem no. Ye DNA December akola ni nya ne ba. So statistics need there mean too. It's say ha Ghana ha divorce statistics are a fake. It says the guy many we nim say enuanum wale e de ye nkrata e divorce almost so kan ye de no. And I marriage register nimpo and measure
enuanum bi olutimi ware se e kwa apuchi se be obenya pepa kwa apuchi wi anu akọ divorce. Okay, you can't need an account. Oh, I see.
And at the end, say, Your data name crash it. The I had to say, Uko Lekma, Nako Walia, data ne wohono, ye fan ba Accra, ye fan ko Kumasi ni tema. So the time is limited, but I will not support the criminalization of the DNA test immediately after delivery because of the PPD. However, you put measures in place. I hope, say, we can start that way because there are more important things we can do than DNA, like sickle cell.
Judge, please, let's continue next week.
I hope so. We'll have the time next week at the same time. So let me just take this in a minute. In the next 30 seconds. In the next 30 seconds.
What else can we say?
Ziga, in the next 30 seconds. Is it me and Adolfo Patrick?
Yeah, I can hear you, guys.
So in the next 30 seconds, Obi Awutiem is here. I keep saying every day that what we TM is here, Opesa account no correct.
Hello, Betuka.
Yeah, go ahead. Say, yeah.
Okay. Most of the issues about trust, suspicion.
It's not easy. It's not easy. This conversation that A+ have started, these are healthy conversation we want to discuss because my own is, can a DNA test of a newly born baby affect the mother? And if yes, what can we do? Should we push the bill so that government will let it be done? And if they want to do it, where should they do it? Because the first one was 2010. Ghana did the first DNA in Ghana with the Ghanaian people and a Ghanaian machine in 2010, and that was in Kolebu. Kolebu is no more doing it because the regent was there and we're not getting the cases. Now, watch it here. Most of the travel DNA request is done foreign, not done local. And DNA is becoming common and easier. But we know that the authentic ones should be legally approved from the High Court. Data protection is very important. Are you sure today if I go to court and I request for DNA because I want to be sure the children are mine before I give them child support, the story will not be aired on Kesben TV, on social media? Because when even there's an in-camera conversation in the judge's chamber, before they step out, the story is in the media. I remember faithfully Asamoah Gyan's case.
Thank you very much.
I remember.
Honorable Kwame Asare Obin,
I remember.
Member of Parliament, Edema, Kumwa Central.
Today, everybody uses.
And Councillor Adofoli is a councillor and alternative dispatch dispute. Sorry, alternative dispute and a CEO Married Consult Unlimited. What's the honor? So, and Councillor George Lutrod is one of the finest and renowned councillors we have in West Africa. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Pani ahead we say a lawyer I do that call join here, but with me and John here because of our duty. So to say thank you very much. I'm Unisapoli, myself and the requirement for the Kekansini Boma. This will be presented the man with the holy.
All right, so let's get to ourselves. Now back to us here on our own table and our own conversation. The conversation can continue here too as well. If for the next hour, because I engage you and I need to make sure that you also enjoy it. So on TikTok, we have been restricted till 2 o'clock in the States. But on Facebook, we are live here, and on YouTube, we are live here. So you can join us on YouTube or join us on Facebook. Let's have this conversation. Should DNA be criminalized? DNA tests or DNA results, when it's determined, should it be criminalized? And in the Criminalization Act, should we cause trouble when we realize that a child is not ours? Or we should quickly go ahead and, as it were, adopt the child because should that be the case? Well, as we're going forward, I will read Nikwe's points, because Nikwe and what Nikwe posted is a very important thing. So if you're watching me on Facebook, you can join me live on Facebook by clicking on the link down there. And if you're watching me on TikTok, you can put in a request and I'll get you connected. Our conversation is very simple. One, the criminalization of a DNA test. And the other one is, should you go ahead and adopt a child that you find out that the child is not yours as a man? The effects of getting a result that proves that the child your wife brought to you is not yours, between the husband and the wife, who goes through the pain the more? Especially when the wife, per most of the paternity fraud videos that have come across, the women are able to bring other men that, as it were, are potential fathers of the children. And in the conversation with Honorable A+, he made a lot of profound statements that we need to consider. He said, like Dr. Jiman was saying, it was a very simple question. But if I'm able to get Dr. Jiman on YouTube or on Facebook, I will put it to him, or on TikTok. Dr. Jiman, if you are free, you can join us on TikTok to finish our conversation here, because we are live here too as well. Okay. Yes. So Dr. Jiman is here. Let's see if we can add him and we can hear Dr. Jiman. All right, okay. Hello, dog. Hello, dog. Doc, can you hear me? Maybe Doc has muted himself when he unmutes himself. So I want to ask a question. Honorable A+ made a very profound statement. He said, the lie that they tell you that I am your father and I'm not your father can lead to a lot of people who are disturbing me. Oh, Sorry, viewers. The noise, the children are just giving me too much noise. Either I'm infringing on their privacy or they are interfering in my privacy. I don't know which one. Dr. Ajiman, can you hear me? So what, Dr. Ajiman is here, but it's difficult to hear him on the platform. So Dr. Ajiman happened to be one of the people. Doc, you are live, but we can't hear you. Okay, Doc. So what I'll do is that I'll drop you and then reconnect again, please. Okay, so I've dropped you. So please make a request again. Thank you. So Dr. Ajiman came. I wanted to ask him some questions. A Plus made a very profound confession or contribution. He says, for example, your father is supposed to be Councillor Lutrot. And by my DNA, we have hereditary disease. Like, for example, diabetes. Or we have blindness. We have a sickling positive issue. And you have been told that Mr. A is your father. And in the lineage of Mr. A, there are no traces of diabetes or traces of any Dajima, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Congratulations. Welcome. Thank you for joining us from the beginning of the DNA conversation. Thank you. So I want to expand the conversation. You know,
Okay.
This DNA thing, I think we did it when? Was it 3 months ago? Was it January?
Yeah, I think it was in January, yes, at GTV.
Yeah, we did it on GBC, yeah? Yes, myself and Dr. Ajimai, GBC, and Dr. Ajimai. Yeah, myself and Dr. Ajimai, we go a long way with this lab business. And once again, congratulations for picking up that doctorate degree in the lab issue. I have a lot of issue with lab. Just a quick one. Doc, are you aware that the Samolina that causes typhoid, and what we learned, you know, that WIDA test doesn't really show the Samolina but traces of the Samolina. However, culture, what we learned, if they've changed it there, I don't know, but culture gives us more of the proof of the presence and the viability of the Samolina, the cause of typhoid. But if you watch our traces currently, most of the tests they are doing to give antibiotics is a WIDA. Have you observed it?
Well, so I if you say now most are the VIDA, I think the trend is changing. So typhoid is enteric fever, and it can be caused by a lot of bacteria, but most notably by the Salmonella and Shigella species. Yeah. However, VIDA test, should I speak English or G?
Both, mix.
Oh,
because we have Nigerians in the system.
VIDA test is an immunodiagnostic test. So is just giving us a clue whether an antigen of the organism is in the blood, or the immune system has responded to the presence of the organism in the blood. Now, when it comes to the culture and sensitivity, when we take a sample, whether it be blood or stool or what we call feces, we actually culture to make sure that if the organism is present, the organism will grow. Now, when we identify the identity of the organism, we're able to test some antibiotics to see which antibiotic can actually kill the bacteria or not. So the best gold standard for now to diagnose typhoid or enteric fever could have been the culture. However, bacterial culture cannot be performed by every hospital lab. To be frank, according to HEFRA regulations, the hospital must be at a particular status before you can do all those things, because you are going to generate live organisms and you must have both the human resource, equipment capacity, waste disposal, and so on and so forth. So what is easily available or what can easily be tested is most of the time the immunological test, which is the VIDA. Now we have what we call the typhoid dot. The typhoid dot is a qualitative immune test that can actually tell you whether the person has an acute exposure or chronic exposure. The difference between the typhoid dot and the VIDA test is that the VIDA, we can actually quantify. We can give the clinician a clue of how much exposure the patient has. And that will also probably work on the clinician's dosage of the antibiotic. So it's a good test if it is done well at the right time by the right scientist. In the absence of culture and sensitivity, VIDA test or typhoid dot are still what is commonly available in our part of the world, especially in West Africa.
Thank you very much. So my concern has been these wither that is becoming common, and people are building antibodies against most of the antibiotics we're having, because so yesterday we did the what do you call it, the annual review. We did the annual review, and most, how the statistics are there. And I was picking most of the numbers that were coming out. I am more inclined to mortality than any other thing when it comes to mother and child. The reduction yesterday was better than the last time. But coming back again to typhoid, that we are doing a lot of without instead of culture, because most of the clinics that we are establishing, HIFRA has not given them the license and the right to do. Selena, HIFRA has not given them the right to do the tests, or they don't have the facility to do the culture. But typhoid is becoming a lot, because washing of hands, you are Ebola experts. People don't know this man is the one who did all the Ebola things in Ghana, so I call him Mr. Ebola. and when the cash cow came, COVID-19 came, he did a lot of the caching system as well, So this guy's he's done it well. He traveled around. During Ebola, where did you go? Which of the African countries you went and you came back alive?
Liberia and Sierra Leone.
He was in Liberia and Sierra Leone during Ebola, and he came back alive. He never got infected. So, as a Dr. Ajibai, I call him Ebola. I am worried, honestly, because washing of hand is gone. I'm telling you, washing of hand is gone. And we all know that most of the bacteria, the SARS and the rest, naturally speaking, we believe that when you have typhoid, it means that you have eaten feces. It's a bad word, but that is the hard way that we are supposed to say for people to understand. Say, when you typhoid, the way the being, Anna Dr. Juma, and yes, I can't know. The Ebaya, yeah, I'm a one who say Horonza for Samina. When was the last time you saw an advert on TV? Horonza for Samina by Ghana Health Service.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Let's stop it.
We thought what happened during COVID, where every shop, even in our hospitals, before you enter every department, we had these hand washing stations. It's very, very unfortunate that Ghana Health Service, vis-a-vis Ministry of Health and the IPC department, couldn't take advantage of this. As part of the annual review yesterday, one of the major challenges of the medical directorate is IPC. And I was
Yes.
like, what happened
Yes.
to all?
Are you were there?
No, I read the report.
Are you read the report?
Yes. What happened to all the
The Veronica buckets and all the infection prevention?
Dr. Sewa is an IPC champion. Everybody became IPC conscious. The moment we called off COVID, everything died. So
everybody is relaxed.
Yeah, and we are waiting for the next outbreak. For scientists, it is good for scientists because then we make more discoveries and we advance science. But for life and the economy, I think we could do better than what we have done. I'm hoping that maybe people like you who have the biggest platform, you could bring back this conversation. What are the gains we made from COVID as far as the health sector is concerned? What have you done with the gains?
Thank you.
Most labs in Ghana were equipped to do molecular testing. A lot of labs. I was involved in a lot of labs. 5 years, 4 years down the lane, what has happened to them? We had a lot of donor support in our lab setup. Human resources were equipped. People are still home. They are not employed to be able to deliver their skills, you know. So I hope that you can start a conversation. What did we learn from COVID? What happened? Why have we left everything? Are we waiting for the next outbreak so that we'll do a lockdown? No. I got a chance to do my fellowship in South Korea. South Korea is preparing every day for the next outbreak. Their emergency
but we are not.
Is alive.
Are we preparing, to be honest with you, where you sit? Are we preparing, Doc?
No, we don't even have a team to prepare. It's just talk show.
But Doc, are you aware that the center, isolation center was built at the FIVES unit? Have you been there? Have you been there? Hello, Doc. Can you hear me? Sorry for the noise. I think Dr. Jiman's internet, one of the good things that happens to us in Africa and specifically in Ghana. So, I mean, don't be bored with the conversation. Don't be bored. This is what I want to start doing now. Doc, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry. I might need to leave you in the next 10 minutes.
All right, so Doc is leaving us in 10 minutes. But Doc, I think that you just gave me a task that you want me to take this up. I want us to arrange and let's start a conversation. After the annual report that came, one of the reports that hit me so hard was the issue of mother and child death, maternal mortality. That the report is that Korle Bu has reduced, there's a reduction. But even when we lose one mother, because he wants to bring a child, it's an error.
It's a family,
but
it's a generation.
I have said this for more than 10 years that the referral cases that comes to Korle Bu is what gets us the death in Korle Bu. What are we doing so that the satellite maternity homes are well established to manage our pregnant women so that no woman will bring forth a child and die. I don't want to say we don't care. Just like what we are saying right now, that typhoid is becoming common because we are eating feces. We are not washing our hands. Cholera in this day and age. The center is there. Let's have the conversation. And like you give me another topic. What was the benefit, or what have been the benefits of COVID-19 apart from the economic gain for the health sector? I want us to have that conversation. And this culture thing, where people are taking medication as a result of a wither test, I want to start that advocacy that no matter how much it will cost you, pay for the culture to be done so that you can have the right antibiotics, because the effect of antibiotics is bad.
Yeah,
Dog, keep these various questions in your mind, because Honorable A+ made a statement, and you also did the same thing about sickle cell. A+ said, if you are given the wrong father, if there is any genetic disposition of health, you'll be told that you are okay, but you end up in it because they say your father is Mr. Ajimai, whose family has no genetic disposition of diabetes, but your real father is Councillor Lutot, whose family has some traces of genetic disposition diseases. So this DNA thing, it goes beyond emotions.
Yes.
So I want us to continue this conversation.
Yes, please.
This month of May.
Yes, please, Councillor. So maybe
on this medium and on TikTok, I'll do a flyer, I'll advertise it, and I'll fix a day. So let's have conversation behind the scene.
Yes, please.
Which day we think is okay for us. I'm busy the whole of the day, but evenings will be good for us.
Yeah, that's fine.
And we'll advertise it.
That's fine.
Because I think that we need to have that discussion. What were the gates? Veronica buckets, sinks. They've stopped all the sinks from flowing. They are not giving soap again.
No.
All the wash your hand has ended.
Everything is
the protocols are gone. And it reflected in our annual presentation that happened.
Yeah.
We are not doing something right.
Yes.
During COVID, it was good because everybody was washing their hand.
Oh, yes. Everybody was washing their hands. Kindly. So something that stopped, and because it's related to typhoid, you know, in the village, when you go to the chop bar, or even in the city, when you go to the chop bar, they bring you a bowl and there's water inside for you to wash your hands. I'm like, you are washing your dirty hands in a bowl of water to eat.
Thank you.
Then when you finish eating and you want to wash your dirty hand with the food, that one you pour water on it. I don't know if you've seen that thing. So
I've seen it. We wash our hand in the bowl of water before eating, but we wash our hand while they are pouring water in our hands after eating. Oh my God! Oh my God! Charlie,
you know,
Charlie.
I had a conversation with a musician who I thought was crazy. He said, "Why do you go to the toilet and wash your hands after visiting the toilet?" Now, when he explained, you know, when you finish poo-poo, you wear all your clothes, tie your belt and everything before you
put all the contamination on your belt, your watch, your phone, and everything.
Before you walk to the sink to wash your hands.
Before you wash your hand and collect your mobile phone, you've touched
already. You know, so we have to really have a conversation on IPC, as he said, and I pray that Kolebu will take it up. Now that they've identified that it shouldn't be a headache now. IPC, no, everybody does IPC. There's social media, we can educate people now, read. Everybody's using smartphone. We can advertise and bring back the consciousness of washing our hands before eating. Washing our hands frequently, not just before eating, because we touch our faces, we touch our nose, we go into our mouth and all that. If we can bring back some campaign, who knows, we can get some support to really help, and let's educate ourselves to reduce antibiotic or antimicrobial resistance. Currently, there's an antimicrobial resistance fellowship program where they are trying to promote proper use of antibiotics. I think it's about the doctors and about pharmacists and about lab scientists. We must really work together as a team to be able to fight this cancer so that the population can benefit. People will not just go to pharmacy to buy antibiotics if they don't have prescription. So if the lab doesn't do it well, doctor will not prescribe well, pharmacy will deliver, and we are going to have a ripple effect of our own negligence.
Doug, thank you very much for having me today. Today you spend all your time with me, even though I gave you a short notice from Kesben
right.
to my page.
That's right.
I have just an hour more to finish, but it's been very educative. Please, let's fix the time. I think my platform should be used. I was hiding from my health site. I like doing only prostates and then menstruation. I didn't want to do health, but after the annual review, I'm getting very pissed off with the constant wither results, and people are doing more antibiotics. We are building a lot of resistance for antibiotics. Dr. Jemai,
yes,
I don't know if you want to put your number across for anybody who wants services from your end, or they should get in touch with me and I'll connect them because I know you are good. If you want to put your number across, I don't mind. You can put it across,
yes,
please.
Thank you so much. Oh, yes. My number is 0242-355.
0242. Come again.
0242-355.
355.
013.
Yes.
0242-355-013.
Okay, 355-013. So Dr. Jimen's number is 0242-355-012. Any issue you have, specifically
013. 013,
yes,
not 012.
Okay, so 013. So it's 0242-355-013.
Yes, please.
So I have posted the number of Dr. Jemai. Doug, once again, I respect your time. Thank you for joining me. God bless you so much.
God bless you.
I'm honored. And you will forever be my Ebola buddy. Mr. Ebola. All right, so that was Dr. Seth Agyemang, a very humble young man. We joke together, but he's now one of the big laboratories. He works with Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. He was there when we had our first DNA test. The machine came. The story of the machine going back, one day we'll discuss it. So Korle Bu doesn't have a DNA machine again, but we believe that we can get it. So now let's get back to our conversation. The science is too much. We have bombarded you with a lot of science. As for TikTok, we are not rising up because they have put a restriction, and they will lift up my restriction after 2 o'clock. And after 2 o'clock, they will do that for me. What is the time now in America? We are not 11:30. Is that right? Yes. So so we'll end the show whilst my restriction is still there. They say my restriction was that yesterday there was no motion. I was doing live and there was nothing. But this conversation I will continue, and I want the women to contribute their point. Why? Is there any effects for women? And you can come on live on YouTube. You can click on the link. Once you click on the link, you will come straight, and you can also share your views. What we just discussed was typhoid. Typhoid has a bacteria that is called Salmonella. Salmonella is a wicked bacteria that causes the perforation and brings toilet germs to us. Now we all have toilets in our homes. And so when you have typhoid or cholera, it means you have eaten feces. The bacteria that comes through your toilet is what causes typhoid. And the antibiotics they give you is supposed to be antibiotics that will fight the Salmonella, which is the bacteria that causes typhoid. But because we do the WIDA test, it's very difficult for the antibiotics they give us to fight it, because the WIDA test, as compared to the culture from your blood or from your stool is a type of lab that when it's done, we build the culture of the semolina. And when we identify it is in your lungs or in your small intestines, then we are able to give specific antibiotics that will fight it. But when we do the wither test gives us the traces of the semolina, his footprints, places it has touched, not the semolina itself. So when you have typhoid once, and we don't get you the specific antibiotics, you will have it again. And we're having more typhoid now. And people have high fever because their immune system is breaking down due to constant antibiotics that are not fighting the original bacteria that they are fighting. These conversations are equally important like DNA tests and its effect on families. So when we do a test on a woman after delivery, does it affect the woman's thinking? Whether it comes out to be that the child is for the man they are talking about. Honorable A+ criminalization of paternity fraud is a conversation that all of us should join, because a man has lived till age 70 with 3 children he has spent money on, only to discover recently that none of the 3 kids are his. However, the man or the woman in the conversation, the woman or the mother of the child, comes back to confess that the child is not for the man. But there are no laws in our country currently to, as it were, criminalize this if it's proven that the woman really knows that this child was not for the man. Better still, we can go further to escalate the DNA to check whether the child also belongs to the woman, because there are issues where in the medical errors, children are changed in the hospital, not deliberately. And that one too can cause troubles to paternity fraud. So should we do the DNA of children exactly after delivery so we can settle the discourse and the confusion of is my child, is not my child? Can that particular request or test affect the mother, especially on what we call postpartum depression? Postpartum depression is the type of depression that a woman goes through after delivery. Some of them as a result of she carrying a baby, breastfeeding the child. The 45 minutes sleep, intermittent sleep, have to breastfeed the child. The child is crying. The breast milk is not coming. The pain they went through delivery, they are tired, they want to sleep. The child wants to stay awake. So the psychological, mental health of a mother that has delivered usually is tempered with when a child is born. So postpartum depression is real, and it's a phase for every mother who goes through delivery. Now we are adding on the postpartum depression to a DNA test that the woman is waiting for a result to prove that before you do a certificate for the child, the man you claim is the father of the child is the father of the child. And I'm saying that the cognitive trauma that a mother may go through as a result of waiting for the results could increase the postpartum depression recovery of a mother. So should we still do the test immediately after delivery? Or what should we do? How can all the 3 kids be changed at the hospital? I'm not saying that. I am just saying that there are issues where children are changed, not deliberately, but mistakenly. But this issue that Honorable A Plus said, the 3 kids are not for the man. I have an issue where 3 kids are not for the man, but that was an IVF where the man gave his sperm, but unfortunately, the 3 children are not his now, as I'm speaking to you. So the man is 68 when the issue happened, and the children were 9. He wanted to pick them to the UK, and when the DNA was run, none of the kids were his. I'm still having the case because it's difficult for the children to go, except the mother will do a filing and get a consent from their father. So this DNA conversation, and the lady told me, "Counselor, thank you for your advice," because the man was in UK, and when the man wanted to have a first child, because he's not had any child at 64, was it 64? No, when the man met a woman, he was 56. So when the woman came to me and we're doing the counseling, he said he wants to have a child with a woman. They realized that the sperm mobility of the sperm was low. The sperm was active, but mobility was not okay because the speed could delay to go and meet the eggs. That is why the IVF was okay to fertilize and put back into the system. So when they requested for the sperm of the man wanted to use an EMS to bring it, or DHL to bring the sperm, a courier service. And I encouraged the woman to encourage the man to come and release the sperm in Ghana himself. The man came to release the sperm for the hospital. I will not give them an advert. And so everybody believed that the embryos that were formed, 32 embryos that they said were formed, was the sperm of the man. Children were born. They were 9 years. The man comes back filing for the children. The Home Office then demanded the DNA of the children, and the results proved that the children are not for the man. It became a serious legal issue. They went to South Africa, they went to Singapore, and the results proved the same, that the children are not his. But he gave the sperm himself. He gave the sperm himself. He came to his discharge. When we spoke to the lab guy, he was telling us that he did the boosting because it was not the level was low. But that was a lie. So even in that particular small IVF, the sperm of the man was changed. And the lady said she thanked God that the man came to discharge. If the man could have sent the sperm, she could have been blamed on cheating on this 68-year-old man. Yes, others could do it, but not all women may do it. There could be some medical errors. So, should we do the medical, the DNA test immediately when our wives delivered, while they are not in their good consciousness, while they are going through their CS pain, while they are going through their delivery pain? Should we immediately pick the sample in our presence, police it to the lab, and police the results, so that you have clarity in our mind as a man that this child is yours? But what happens to the woman? Does it affect the woman in any way? All right, so I have opened the lines now. Yes, sir. Is it Steve or Stanley?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Councilor Lutrot.
Oshida also. Yanko.
Any akonya wo de emame.
Me da say.
It's long overdue. It's decision on this quickly. The earlier the better. Because this is not the first time. There are several people. A lot of people. That is what I mean by long overdue. It should have been implemented long time, not now. Because when you said something, say Abia na obedi akwako, and out of not deliberately, but maybe out of mistake. Maybe a man interchange akolano.
Sir.
Counselor, it's 1 out of 1 billion. It's 1 out of 1 billion. Those things normally happens if maybe different children or maybe a bako or the schedule nurses for no and a akolano. What I say, akola bako any be on interchange and kolaba normally no. Say if the two cases are alive or whosoever the number of cases or more that ward at that particular time, if they are alive, it's very difficult. But say almost sound very difficult. Counselor, this issue is not going to affect the woman in any way. Because I conduct test affected. They are doing it for the benefit of the two of you. Because if what you said holds, say we are multi interchanging kolana, and the benefit of the two people, both the husbands and wife. It will affect you, it will affect the father as well. Because and but situation baby. Say if you know if you know you had an intercourse with only your husband and the child is yours, what is your problem after birth? I hope, Counselor, you are getting my point.
I'm getting my point. The problem is that, yes, maybe you've had sex with somebody else, maybe not. But you just delivered. Yes, you are in pain. You just delivered. Your emotions are not okay. Then they are doing DNA.
Counselor, it's for the benefit of the two. Unless say obey the step and you cannot understand you up to a point. Say law near pass here. Uni bibiaka. Mra and I pass it. It will keep to their toes. But there are a lot of people who are doing these things deliberately. It's intentionally.
Oh, how?
They about 80% of men are firstborn and your mama. About 80% of men, their firstborns are not their case. Just because a lot of people don't know because to buy US and any other country where they will demand for DNA. But in reality, there's a lot of people whom they are taking care of somebody's case. Counselor, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. It's over. I check what I was saying. Those issues you started buying what government to me, or to parliament, to implementing it quick. Because it's bringing a whole lot of problems to marriages. And the money we should take advantage of it. Could you imagine, just recently, Kasua issue is seen and say, Kasua, there's been a situation that Oba Okako Warukunu. And real, it's not a story. Oba Warukunu. Not what to do, boyfriend, quickie. Only what that, and son of Okako Waru. No, no, and the probability that she'll get pregnant, it can even be intentional. And I say, only boy no crap planet. Say, firstborn, or per se, a yen back. And on Nakoda, and Okako Waru, 40 now for no. Groom no any information with pictures, evidence, and no again at the wedding day. So, counselor, for them to implement this, the moon is a war by was had depression out of bed, any idea, then it means you have such a preoccupied mind. What takes certain decision in your life? Sorry, because this shouldn't affect you, because it's to the benefit of you, the man, and then the wife. On condition said, out of it's not deliberately, almost Sakolano. Almost Sakolana, a big yaba because a Yamoba, Papano, ain't show the grandma minister looking a day. Ain't show, but the probability said, ain't show no. Very low. Because if you say, Ayobadia, Ayoba, I don't think there's going to be any post, whatever, it is not going to affect
postpartum depression.
Yeah, postpartum depression. Yeah, I don't think it's going to affect anything.
You are sure? You are sure? Now, let me ask you the next question before I bring the next one. So you think that between the DNA results, the man and the woman, who does it affect when the results come and the child is not for the man?
Yes, say, Oba, Wawoneba, and Unime Papa. Oba hawa ne ba any name ne papa. I will be the father of his child. So if that statement is not true, then it will be 90% true. On condition say Oba no ni pa bienu and akwakoda and on the ovulation period or whatever. So every woman knows his father of his of her child. It effect, effect in the maybe who say it's going to be it's going to affect the man if the child is not his. But Obani there, no, it doesn't affect her in any way. It doesn't affect her in any way. Because on the final results, I say, if you're a counselor, Obian or Tresam so we ask one. On him so pass and obey that Obian or Pia Tresam so we don't pass over pass, we don't feel over feeling. Council make every walk as a boy.
I say, you're trusting a passing everybody a failure.
Debbie, Council who a yasa. Oh, I have some years later, get one more you lose a pass here, meaning that. That pass my papa feel I mean to be feeling. To be true, be feeling as a copy of that register. I copy book what I was saying, I'm not gonna Almataco. 80 doctor, councillor, A+. A young person of the parliament no more agree. It's to the benefit of Obano, it's to the benefit of Bemano, it's to the benefit of the community. The Obano Bush, I remember the Bush, and of combine Ghana, a benefiting because A+ and Colapa what you be, what will be Papa now? It is what now first when I saw the how can you tear?
Oh, Stevie, okay, what day? I said, Membay, Membaba, Masu a day.
Yes, it's Councillor, it's a they will love their mother, but they will hate their father. They will listen. I'm telling you, Councillor. It's not a joke. I don't know. A serious. I will say, and look at some they have to implement it quickly.
Nasika, Bema, Stevie, me ignore your Sabia. Etoli bia obi ira wo kra ye pesika dia yi na fi hospital oni bi na de odko adie ne de okofa ne
me ba to me che wo pani
me si etoli bia obi ira wo kra ye pesika 2000 media yi na fi hospital oni bi na de ne de okofa scan wo ndi akoye affordability.
Maintain count as a network, as a network in
network. Miss Abbas, you say, Kafra. Miss Toribia, me, so me, sorry. Me, Sabia. Oh, sorry. All right, so Stephen is not hearing me because the internet is not stable. I don't know whether it's my internet.
I can hear you now.
Let me say, Toribia, it becomes a problem for us to go and pay for people to be discharged after delivery because Berman on Yum. What do you mean, Chiampo, near Yini Hospital? Now, you did DNA be come on. Okofeska Wahindia Kutia for testing. Another person buying a TMI. Sorry, we lost Stephen. Stephen was doing a lot of, I like his conversation and his passion and what is happening. So our conversation is, Honorable A+ is with other parliamentarians are pushing a bill to Parliament for a DNA test to be conducted when a child is born immediately, and also criminalize a result that is not for a man that has been asked to pay for child support. And we are saying, and my question is, can we also be thinking of the postpartum depression effect of a mother knowing that a sample of the child has been taken with consent to know whether the child is for the man or is not for the man? And our other argument is, if you don't know who your father is, there are times that there are some genetic dispositions in terms of clinical distortions. Maybe your real father's family, there are diabetes there is stroke there is some sickness there. But because your mother has given you to a different father, that father doesn't have those sicknesses. So not being given to your real father has an effect. Who do I have here? Triple K. Triple K, let me hear your own. Triple K, let's go.
Okay, Counselor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Me was here na me sir Brother Steven Kasa.
Yes.
Na me yeah my dream say me buy no question me be bisa na Counselor we di can be say.
Oh sir.
Na abani ne betwe DNA na say father no na ebe mandatory say ontua.
No so be
asem na wo ho. Yem prioritize you. Yem wa ye wo hwi. Media me nkasem obi peso yi ni DNA test amawanye, and I'm not against it. Say wo man nye sika ni efi say ye betimi dia ye sa de na. Me I'm not against it. But the thing is, so man nye sika no mu de beye bibia. Wo mu nhwe na hospital beds no mu akwa enough. Wo mu nchia health professionals sika you no mu provide the equipment. Na ensemu a ACC se obi ko ye nyampa ama no. Enti wakowu ne bewu no ye ntibio because ya so bad time ebe kwa awo so na wo mabio sa asemu we ewiase nyina try say be reduce ananse bimpo crazy ye krom de afi kra na ye so enti no parliament emna shebedwafo enim se munim de ena omamu ni nyina ato aba ma musem nkogina ya naemu enyeme ehia bi se na wasem koka ho asem enye se obi baye ne dia na enye ne dia ho asem se be ma ne yireti no office wanyini yiri ni enough enti no baye ne DNA he can go ahead and do it. He doesn't need any parliament to pass a bill on that. So far DNA testing so man kwaje consent bia from parliament. Enti what's their beef on that? Enye me hia ne wo so me asem we ya e ba ya wo ba kwa ko we nyampa na so hospital so mu nimpa ma moje atunu am we ahwere na hwere ne ba eno de wo ko o ma anti anka enti no it's hard time say you prioritize ni hu se nipa nkwa ho hia na nyema bia ehia no ye de to nchen because you see hospitals president we ba na mesi hospitals say we ba mesi hospitals say we ba me ensu ye nhunu hwe se o masi no ramemu na enyansa ne mayo se politicians no man sem ba ku is in the pipeline impie mada ena ye safa na mo parliamentarians mo nyanda agia kwehie mu kodwenjwe o man ho a obi paternity resource ni hia abrank of for shiri o monka what are they talking about?
But mommy they all can be me no ya be but what should they fi other angles say papa ya make can asem we this 68 wa born the bra hwemkola yi at that level of trauma or UK or to say assemblyman or UK you see on far results in bra because what dad die what didn't throw at that by say abofro no gidi say ne dia na nya ne dia so obi tu kwan wa hwe ne me mba me we me boka wo mo hu me nya obi be me bie ni asase so abenya aba ho faso da wuti we o ma me mu nya ho faso me papa ne ho nya me papa nya me ho faso bia o mu nya me ho faso bia meaning so no matter how much you invest in your child o mu nya ho faso bia but we are spending hundreds and thousands of dollars to educate our children for them to become what we want them to be. Na ye dia kolebia ma wakume mu de wetwa wo wahwe na usanya kwanya bie kwan ama wo yentu kwan a enkola ne nya wo dia na afi na oba de be ye nchiremu Onya sure say you're criminalizing Ebeboa.
Counselor, sir, as some way say, or baby to me deceive Bema. Na what the Ukrainian dear Eman. Na your DNA test approve ya. I think say or see or bunny in any way biana or betty bem because
ye ka say mrebi ani ho sa o dati lam te die ye mfato a ye kan yi e chirem kwana na yire ne pre dan ho wan dwen yawa be ma ne famu o te me na say
counselor metiasia pam metiasia but in any way no say counselor say mra ni wo say bia oba neneti how we be prepare a case for the courts because say me bedada na me ju sika se sie kokodia e betimi aba say man twitu ansi wuso yensenka na me ji sika no but how you present it in court no
but emra wo ho
to me say mesisiu it was say me pata wo
emra wo ho enu emra wo ho but we mra bi
same way no. In that same way, no, some the Baba show my wish akran one drew baby now be who's akran your dear. It was so sweet me as you some my dada. And I'm a crab show to a car
70 years. 70 years. Miss you are messenger baby.
Aha, and no dear, what kind of side dear? Me to us here. No new lawyer, counselor. No crabba could say. No craba copan, and I'm a madam for beacon. No craba copan say, sir, issues that a ba say beer or baby, minim some money being ye, I, who are payet said, and I, example, and a brother ye came, or no one so no a quack with half no a quack when you know the bishop. And I say, when him so be worry, not boa payet, and money be subine yet no cray back.
It told me a yabba payo, a goodbye sex. Kind of crack a cry. Yeah, the proper
goodbye says goodbye says anyway. When him send pan winning a jay. Wow. Now we'll move on. Now what is goodbye sex? I don't buy that.
Oh, it but say a bois closing the chapter.
Why in any way at their how neighbor.
Yeah, closing chapter. Yeah, closing chapter.
They say first bonds acquire you suspecting. But the thing is, say lawyer, we know about now. Nesse, Memphis say, what's name fear baby?
1 minute. Men can we or say, counselor, tell the woman. Nobody will tell me my wife will cheat on me and I'll believe. But recently I discovered that our 12-year-old son, who is our firstborn, constantly gets sick. We went to Kwalebu Teaching Hospital and was diagnosed that he is sickle cell. I am not. I am AA. My wife is AS. So per the doctor's report, I can have an SS. So where from this child? I'm afraid to do a DNA because it will take my life. So tell her the law will help. Sister, Nana Adom say message I mean from ma on say see and ba already 12 a sickle cell positive. Na yiri nye SS, ono so nye SS. And a doctor ni share say oye AA, na yiri AS. Eye din so mbewo SS. But about 12 years ni SS. Osuso be DNA. 12 years. And we so can sing. Sembrano wa. And it was so. The message in my kind
counselor. Emre who. Wait. Sometimes no home. Obi so cry or cry na. Was in the second one. Obi so cry or why. Eba no ebetimi kraba say bimpo kra na eba no mpokra no they go switch somewhere in the hospital. Wouldn't you? And no possibility. But you know what can say? Ni AS or no A. Doctor ne say the possibility say obeo SS.
And scientifically, it's not possible. It's not possible.
It's not, and yes, it's not possible. It's very slim.
No.
It's very slim.
No. My sister, as a scientist, no. Hey, women.
But
women will always defend women. As a scientist,
I'm not defending.
As a scientist, this is not.
I'm not defending.
There's nothing slim. ASS.
Counselor, there means me who be and say, Obi so ne kunu ware ewo mafo e drew ebra omu tu kwan no mkoye DNA no reject akra baako.
Okay.
Maame no na enye first born po, one of the middle ones.
Okay.
Maame no swear heaven and earth so onim ho hwe enti sadia wo de yan show. And the woman was so smart and highly educated say say ya run be man na se be man die ne ni akra ni mu a omo run ono so pe so make sure say akra ne ye ne ba. And lo and behold ye koye ye no akra ne have nothing in relation with
I agree. It is there. We call it 2%
possibilities
error.
are there. But counselor, the moment you better say enye be man ne dia no na ya rubbish oba ne dia ne oba ne kwachiti. But to be who crash and care corane, mamma, and cranko bones are crano, say yes, Richino, say ye do you, say ye do you, a crano cranium, in idea. Especially a Ghana, when said the health system needs to the way you handle newborn babies. So we have slight mistake. Obabe to me, Diafra.
Oh, and Ghana. Program now me area
I know what I'm saying.
Approach high. In the US,
yes.
In the US, it's high.
Very high. Say, Obabe to me, you better mix over up. But Ghana, some na making.
And I make a senti yampo. Approach the high say, yeah, low crowd. A high power. Uncroft the Asian growth for power. It's your chance of
na me no be question na me bi say nyina ene say abani na etwe die ni na ama emema na say ye be ye emra say be me bia wo ya we so yo be die.
A very good question.
Eno na me pese bi hu ntema me fro ba
be dase na mo de mo bombo de bia mo defend the man sa me wo question me bi sa de gina ho me ba me bi sa question me nko soro ho na
defendi obia o.
O dey be say me ba me kwa kwa. Kewa enti o, is it Kewa? O Kiwa.
Yeah, Lutot.
Yes sir.
We do Adaruma. Nyami Shao.
We should have
program we are organizing.
That's it.
Yeah. I no cre DNA no cra no. Because some common pass law no cry before introduction of health insurance. Me come through. Ghana form money be and money be. I don't know how to describe them. Say Adrimbonio say so for the one who name spiritual realm say who money be na na etu omo won't mean chire.
Ale ye di na o kasa ne ya o say.
Yes, me a victim.
Triple yedi. Who a victim?
Me a victim pa.
Get by.
Me na girl no ho. And a girl no fire through. Or fire through be 2 months me hu ni biem. That one na ma me ya one di nyin na koma be ma foforo. And be ma di nyin man knows very well say nyin se ni nye ne dia. And so pay.
Wow.
And waje and on a girl neti. But guy no be man oba ni nse nko ma no. Ne maame enim se nse ne nye ne ba ne dia. And so maame no ko kan ne ba be man so be po no nka na ntu. And I feel the owo akola yi. or what play, me no, me. Who's a member? Bass, I'm your man. I mean, new time. One or the apprana, or maybe change any media. Japan, you go only papa. Abba. Enna, the woman, on a guy that's our second one, and no more third one. I've been one on mobile saying, but not so dang or how too much in the family back. And I'm saying, oh, yes, mamma, sounds making me happy. So, what's he made a man? Look at a man, the only end, ask him, and then remember the other story. Okay, I said postpartum psychosis. There could be possibilities there. Or make me a running test, no, but because of the woman's condition, no, they will not expose it. They can keep it when she recovered, and then they will tell her. Immediately, I support A+. Be no straightforward. Yes, me them support because the money, you know, when it comes to cheating, and a member, I'm muchiti. When it comes to DNA, no my the money, they know what they are doing. Look at my main case in we chat to. So a bear man now sees wow. Na, he also a queer papa the open mouth. I'm a papa the open mouth near come out with your one day you'll be travel to fashion dream. One day, look at ye kiss in the air because I said no. And my story be back, Mazion. Look at now, Obani Bearman eti. Now, rent us. But Obani see a few run up penny that, and will catch a few run and say, only you on penny. No rent, no so no muniska. And a bearman catch Obani K, with the material do my pesca. To me, is Caban, my bitch. A while no banner fetchery, any if you run a quarter. Think and say, much more the more if you run a big nephews, canoso. Sa you couldn't copy scan a buy, if you run so fetch up with this can. They say, I was and you say, oh, your banner, what with this can and as over catch rook.
Na se we di oba na bomoden o yi feri ene di mguasi afia busoro de ne twa yi feri ama bema ana
na asem no true de ba mi busa se o yo oba na o ba kwata te feri na jiska na so be ka kire okunu
oh me de betua next year men kan chemi ku metua next year Anami kuru betua na yefa misika mame.
Okay, enu nso ka ho de, enu nso wom. Nti no, emma de, little emma pa de.
Eja kala no oba no wakoje no hwe no. Na akoje no ntokwa be ne bae.
Oh, se me koye no, afa de. Boy na maame na no nim say, a first born nye ne ba ne dia no. O de nkran kogu ekura ase. Ena Miss me Babruchi. To me Babruchi na friend my sister. And call them go girl. And crazy go baby a plan. In fact, go a plan yari serious. And my sister copy skaka cry. I think almost 3,000 is or the mama and far brand their plan to hospital. And a plan go me mamma who a plan one ton.
And the we are DNA some pass a plan here.
Look at the picture never say no back to am or idea.
Eti dachi o file ma akura we na ukura picture ina akura nya oba de na abeba.
Oh, to me, because me a medical profession, so when it happens that way, fine. Say remember, life continue.
But obe person obe DNA to clear your mind now.
For me. The Jamaicans and say, maybe himself running me back. Even we stay a Francis semi-crown to Inchaya, Obano, Namanin Nanetti. Although Namin Niji, but when you say, or my meti, and I'll go to only papa and mammy and I'm frame say, or Mobanis or Niminium, and I'm saying, I to bear 2 months, me who girl be. I don't know what came to your mind, but it was the influence of the mother. And I'm again taking that decision.
And then I said, what dear Pese.
The massacre no anyway.
Oh, that be I say me nishi. That time you na me nurse ni. That time I was working as a nurse in Ghana. So
okay.
me be one man means so. Sana me tie.
Eti wo dia wonye DNA.
Oh, there be.
Usuro ana ugidi keke say ye uba.
The case went to Wontumi TV. Then it went to Mama Ako. All my case be do when man on happen so find any papa ni. Enti ye DNA DNA same DNA. Yes. Case no call Wontumi TV. If you want to call Mama Ako TV station, but I told them that I'll be speaking out of their cameras because we are very popular. Oh, Kumasi. Joma was no, where dear, no palm, no channel, no DNA, same beer, apparently papa. That's all.
Do they the way Jansa? Kwasi on the onye test bi na akola do hu akola na nim na eneba yan for so
yes into the mercy from no people from Swaba. Why
Matiba last question is say ye DNA a wa adwin mu no DNA a wa adwin mu no oba ne bema why ene brepa after the results.
My observation, a man in a bread because what the BBR to China mostly about 90%, a man has programmed in their mind. And him a papa. So only the only thing that she's looking for say a proof, but obey him, obey bien or gas unim ne baba papa. But we the men, the entire year arguing say, yeah, memano. You so about we meaning that solid, meaning the AC, the then I probably yemiba. Mention I'm sure Obano, or hospital, or what antenatal male side no, me na me din wo. Ye be me. So when it's come and it's the results prove otherwise. And in fact, we the men goes through a lot of trauma and easy. And man be man cry no such man no on you obey we see da come to be with as when it happens that way, yes. Ebia be man no so na adwen say obia o wa fa match no one day pe and oba no say be she no and dey a different ball game altogether. But instances whereby my worry what is guy on what you me no take. Na ba na say DNA enye me dia chale we the men goes through a lot. Sometimes some even think of suicidal ideation, for which we don't want to get to that level. Yes, for the way the men will go through a lot.
But a bad say, I do obey. Unya butre, eka say, ubani datun so beba. One year worried, one go police station, one go fighting for your child.
I did 2 months, no. 2 months now, man, no. Me call Ascot police station for a case. That was 2019.
Okay.
Seven no baby and you who bano, baby or could be a me. And the police one mom report said, police one mom letter say, me from my girl, I'm inviting them, Embra police station. But me the letter buy no, me who girl need him. To my police one year aware said, the lady is not even around. And I'm so okay. Into those documents, no.
Report. Who need to report?
Yes.
I almost if I let a command.
Almost I say, hey, Bia, who let na everybody or something like that. And I say, hey, Bia, the parents, no. Who let na everybody. But me so buy a man who Bia. And I was keeping the document. And just recently, case in the buyer, and ye on the bar won't mean I'm going to letter and buy. To me, Ascot police station, and if that's the case, a girl number, and I'm afraid girl and a girl about police station. As my girl in the back, I say, or Benjamin 12,000, answer the Abrana mammy.
Hey,
yes, police one and say, and you said, Bearman neglecting the responsibility. Who na dia kwani piane but who say me ba be twa bo dia anya adwuma. The police one can say the next day no onko fa akra ne mbra e na ye koye okoye wansi police station bi e ho no de ko wuntumi e na wuntumi fu kan ya hunze no akra ne papa ne pe the story ayate ne de uni hwie de mawo e na osa hunze no e sise no sa de ko mama ko TV che ona o na ko wie final a omne me ba mame a man dear, a man, whatever is happening, no, oh, Ghana, too much. The money, and it, dear.
Nah, there I say actually my drink a cranny say, I say, oh, can baby say, woman, a fellow say, Brabejoba. But I fed the assay said, who can see, I say, now, course, you could live you, Bana, or Mumpeso, what the Bema. Because we be a have for 7 job, but the head then is this and between 12 times.
Yes, said before now, case no call police station. Me go a case no police station, I'm afraid again, by and a boy now didn't say no command, mammy who said no. Or my bokawa crown home. And to be being I just almost be before a crown home. Who's your story no? And a mammy dear before the far crown quick classy.
It's nearly by Joe.
Yes. So the far crown quick classing, and again, as you know, although calling me by mammy, dear, I mean, I didn't the money wolf has a mammy, I be fat. Them was in your command, mammy, I be far crown. Now, on Tia says it will be a funny back. No, mammy also say no, I was now also walk with him because for the news and now they are crown command or bandit Bermano, Sabemano. Or they are proud to bear money meeting and or the 2 are proud.
Hana baby says as some say what's the sunny dear na and I want the 2 din.
My sunny din, girl, girl, and command. Your friend of Mamino, Benedicta. And don't to a planning Benedict Asari. I'm probably free mammy. I'm probably free mammy.
Hey.
Sana se no goya you. Inti ma.
O de me modi ni nyesa bia na
Ala dia go TV so be.
Inti na me no, omo kwa mesre. And then unim asem no kwa basan. Akwani nyini yenya 5 years counselor. 5 years no akwani nko school. O sorry area mu on na ball no so na amafo frame ke be fa oba no muntimi hwe no.
Edina enkrofo nim say ya oba.
Akofo area ni nyina mu nim. Area for ni nim e no msha say trouble girl no. Je ho na girl say no dey do the pressure na e ba na no wedding. This is kind of correct. Sana se no go you. Emma,
and you said your baby, man, I was your baby.
And then they so far about now in the
and you go see the chair. Oh, Mama, I want to teach you the so kakra. Now, what was saying?
Oh, I don't want to back.
Hey, yet you found my one can account says phone.
Oh, I don't want to back.
Who say, one year. Now, so by you know, Dimika.
Oh, David, I saw on your bow, but then I can. Triple, then I can. Triple, would you come on, my power?
Meaning is happening. I'm 34 years. About what you are making.
That's on child.
Yes,
a turning by.
Counselor, in as much as say, money be and not your midget too. Me make me defend you.
The man can be a you, the man can be down.
but
Jan ho me fa bin count. Me fa bat bi amba.
They are trying to cover their shame. Womu person mu protect womu kunu no mu ma wari enti no. Ono ani bi se bi kuri wo enti no akwa no dia baba say be ya. Oh, but the unfortunate thing is say womu ya they don't consult the men. Enti at the end of the day no no cranny be there dia na be ya nim guasie. Mama ni bebre sterile. Ye do
my sister. Only Bama shia, no ye sterile. Ko na ko worry there or ye protect. Don't cover up for any man. Stop defending.
But
why are you defending them?
But say the many bisu ko shia ma. Omu ware mare na wo ma omu timi twafa ho ko.
Me ba cho Bama bi akonyimo, Bama bi akonyimo baby di ahye wana.
Me ba cho say.
Bama bi akonyimo baby di abehye wo.
Me there be ebi
eti me nam we oba bi a me di no me ye achi bia no onyima me fa mbe hya me yire e ya me ba enti de na aka no
me so me konyima me di abrew
enti e fa se na de konyima na di abre me konyima me fa hyew me konyima me fa hyew na de konyima de abehye
me pa chawa agro na me die me nkaso obi nkoyesa
Bana se mo worry na sa wo mama let's collapse the marriage obi anko the baby.
Oh, when I make kai intimacy divorce.
Simple.
Divorce. Yeah, mo wa di machi wa ha che no. Me cousin o worry 2 times. I warn him ba. Ena me gu awade no. Me gu awade ni wie ye no. Ena me ye no ho adwuma. Sana obanyema just a bema de nada womra oye bra e won the second day or ovulated during menstruation and now I won't call him
okay
and one there is too much science obi aye twa na wo no ntumi wo no let's do more study on you and then me won crofo bebre mama omo awo esan say omo bu omo nsa omusan tunkosua eti awade na awone mba men tra ho mba abrewa unless say one kasa wudni mu say ye yi wa wode na say sister bi onya ectopic pregnancy time owo SS3 and ye yi na wode nyina beautiful abrante bi ware no ya ye nhihye nyina and oba me ho for counseling. I want a date dada. And I say no krebu or on to me in country bia. And I be catch them say sister. 2 things. Either so be catch be man. And now won kokra ni nguasiam. O si on country be man. Enti o twa wade anum. One country bia de enti o twa wade anum. But yayi na wo de. So when we are honest to ourselves, it will help the generation. She said the Abranti AK. Yan fan say, ne be ya to ne Benedict you say better. Ebia yade bi wo. Kwa mobusuam. De yade ko share ne say ne papa no eni omo ho. Enti your cost to ne bisa say, "Wo papa chi diabetes wo ho, o si dabi. Sickle cell wo ho, o si dabi. Edam wo ho osi dabi esan say bema ni ma medical man say eye ni papa no eye no kure so mo busua mu no sa yade ni bi ni ho. So don't think of just the change of name. Think of the medical issues as well that can affect the future of that innocent child. So Abranti akojeneba watu ni din foforo AAA na nani ewi na so number gene 12,000 de bia ya fanya sakwan so dia bokro no. Well, I still believe that there is a lot of pain in the heart of men who have been given the opportunity to take care of other people's children. They be make the ask the same say. Akola ya igbeni esi e to no forgive. Now the na bring krenu ato no papo. Akola ni future ebe bleak and blinking. This DNA issue should be discussed extensively. And I still believe that, honestly speaking, if we do the right thing, we'll get the right results. I may be ending my conversation here, but I will continue this conversation. The effect of a DNA test right after delivery on women and men. Who is more affected? If you have an issue like that, I want to encourage you to seek for counseling before it becomes a big problem. Call me, let me help you announce the father of the child. If you love your child, don't give your child to your father, but give the child to the father. Most of you, in your anger, has given your children to your biological father because the man refused to say he's the father of the children or the child. And for that matter, as we speak, your child is supposed to be an Ewe, but he's become a Gan because you were angry and gave the child your father's name. May I plead with women who are angry that it's not just about the name. There are clinical distortions. There are health issues that child will grow and will live in a lineage where there is genetic disposition of health issues. But because he has been told that your father is Mr. A, he wants to live a life of innocence. Glaucoma eniho, diabetes eniho, cancer eniho, prostate eniho. It sounds ni papa na ye dene man no ye dene to no. I am paso mu bisum sha ya de bi ni ho. Ba ni papa nkasa onyem ne maame no. Sa ya de bi wo. Mesre enfomso to misi. Ba ye be boy hu modern pa de anka. Ebe boy na emma enna ne mma embro yen. Ba ye nyina ebe tena so asumdwe ne anidie mu. Na e de ahoto aba. Honorable A Plus in Komoidi, ye jadi. Diobetua sana triple A kind of hunya. Say ene abaya dia tuma, abaya na esa ko tua kan health insurance one. Apostates. E draw where say a toma mbema no man yale. Ye di DNA ka. E ko ma abaya tua. Okati akori di meko abura poncheri di otim 50 say. Free maternal delivery cry ye hu ano. Obi ba bewo ni kunu aba ho. Otua 800 penny a discharging the yere. Ontumi ntua. Na ye di 4,000 DNA abeka ho okofa sika no. Menka say me enyo. But I see I consider a lot of issues. Sickle cell cry dadwin kese maye. Because a big problem on our society. So obi aye SS or sawari SS in the name of love. Yeah? It can be a muntie. It can be a muntie. Yende, I for I scientists, I counselors. It ye can send it here. What time me cry, me can be a fa. Minya wa tamfo. And common yedi. Ye minim na mechere. Me shall say fit anopa, and if it we are 12. My 3 hours. And your busy can am there. Triple A by on sending mumu fanto data. Council US or so abruchiri kafra on soon sending data. Baba chiro mabin amobi esumi. YouTube 40, Facebook 40. Education is all I want. Thank you for joining me today. We are Bema now won't check or post it. Mr. Okona go check it. Now checking here see a normal federal protected. We are bound so now or yaw mu menstruation problem, a war problem. We were MSP 30 framing. na membo ho ban na membo o hwe me na open local antibiotics ginger ni honey en ma ye wo paper mu ene to amu yi gina man na frɛ me sisi a 0277 609 644 midinde His Excellency Reverend Dr. Counselor George Nitrot. Yamia ho den ene edi egusu ye adwuma in some bebre wo ho ese yeka ba ene de mi tum hu si wo se holiday workers day me di DNA typhoid ene aba wo ho nkomo se yare bi ne ha na apem wo afre me awade mu huntan huntani na apesem frɛ me wo be se ogya awade frɛ me obi kunu ani wani gye obi kunu ani gye wo ho enti be se okoto awade so frɛ me obi ahu se ho ofe ti se AAA be se one wo ne yemu ba frɛ me ehu hia isan se ewiase ne yede ba le bit ma ye nwama medamo nyina ase frɛ me ne ndi nkomo wa akire ho na me so memboa ba bia e ka wakoma se boa me na me nto data one ton so a meye live ne sa ba bia oh counselor di $200 yi di $1,000 yi efe di €50 yi efe na ma ne ye 0546 888 na ma no screen so 0546 279 344 888 na ma na ma 0546 279 344 and na your numbers na wo form ne say abom restrictions say be me 2 o'clock US number US time adentia enra am say me here live no na me nkasa my din there was no activity it's say no be unlike it obi an share obi an mami a friend then afi I dem Friday anything gifts it was
and na me try some my gift to cry say suspended
say no and it was me conclude and it ma block me till 2:14 US
oh
and wa wo hwa yen na me unse nya se ni enam ye 1K and nya boni bi ni aye by say no am ye show no obi ama me gifts it was dormant muso maso wadin mon chade mon like it mon yehwe and a TikTok no ma dwene say what set at all and only active until no the restrictions at all. It's Yami Shram Yami Adumo China area meba fire never to us. It's a ditching your bass here, betch. Ye didn't come why I can say tea for chain. Why I can say a tree for chain. Well, Wilfu said Nelson whom if I chabe or Chinanso, who was sent with you. Good afternoon, good night. You go pay me a so accommodate. Follow me, why? So won't follow me that. Go YouTube. Now should your counselor little TV now follow me. Go Facebook. Now go follow me. TikTok follow me. Send away I'm a buyer, AAA, me buyer, when you let me say my pa. Quao, me buyer don't say my pa. Any macro near them. Me the money na ask. Yame domu ya ibesen share bi bye bye
yare yo yare yase obi benya wona fi yare yamfa yare nsu nya nipa sichire yare ni no sickness can determine the last straw of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and loved ones, supporters of our foundation, the CL Foundation for Health, Diabetes and Asthma and Cerebral Palsy. We are knocking at your doors, knocking at your pockets, knocking at your emotions. Support me and my team to support people living with diabetes, asthma and cerebral palsy. Your donations are welcome on 862-215-2007. Your Zelle 862-215-2007. MTN Ghana numbers 055 000 5077 055 000 5077. 77. It is the MTN number. CL Foundation for Health and Support. Help us with the diabetes equipment, glucometers, wheelchairs, old clothing, new clothing, financial support, and let's give it to the needy. Thank you for your support.